Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of SNKronize. And see, Kyo is right here.
There he is.
See him on the screen. He's definitely not going anywhere. Of course, it's myself and Mr. Olaf Redland here just to talk about SNK stuff. You can follow SNKronize on
Oh, you got pretty good on the synchronization.
Twitter for...
Like, you actually maintained it.
Yeah.
Like, it's so hard to get started. Then once you get, and you're like,
yeah, see, there you go.
Yeah, it's
there
not
you
bad.
go. But we weren't even sure if we were going to get a trailer this week, but apparently we did get one.
Yeah.
So
A lot of people picked up. It didn't have the.
hey, shout out to Nutacon for the subscription. Sigma Nutacon Cap Butacon. There you go. That doesn't make any sense anyway.
It sounded like new Transformers.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
Sigma Butacon.
Yeah, so the Decepticons will have the Nutacons, and the Autobots will have the I can't believe it's not Buttabots.
All right.
Okay.
Anyways, so yeah, last week's trailer did not have the stay tuned next week for more news.
Mm-hmm.
So people got nervous. It's a reasonable thing. But we got our trailer today. Okay. So let's get right into it.
Yuri.
Okay,
I can see why you're not that excited.
I am not excited. I mean, I'm not partial to art of fighting characters in general, but I'm also not partial to the girl sidekick clone characters. Just in general, I don't like Sakura and Street Fighter. I don't like Yuri. And then on top of that, she tends to be one of the stronger members of the team. So you're always going to fight her, and there's going to be a point in some game where she's going to whoop your ass.
What's funny about this, too, is that I only ended up liking Yuri because I liked the way she played in CVS 1 and 2. I liked Sweep into Fireball medium pressure, and that was basically all I did was play that. So that's the only reason why in 13 I was like, all right, Yuri's supposed to be good. I'll learn her too. So
yeah, and no, yeah, you're right. She's kind of like a Chibi Akuma at this point because she relies so much on her demon flip style move. And one of the things is, and more often than not now, her demon flip air throw. Her Demon Flip Air Throw actually has the Catch Anywhere property.
Right,
So, and like if anyone in here isn't quite sure what that is, normally if like you end a combo with like a jab or something, they go into a reset and then they're invincible until they land and hit the ground. Her Demon Flip Air Throw ignores that and can still throw them out of that state.
Right.
Only, KOF 11 was like loaded with them, but like 14, there's only like 2 moves in the entire game that have that property. It's like more like 3 or 4, but whatever.
And Yuri's always one of them. Seems like it.
Yeah. She has had that property on that move for a long time now. And so I'm curious if they're going to let her keep it. I kind of hope so, because I think that shit's really cool. Even if I don't like the character, that shit's fucking cool. And I really like that property in general being something special. Like, just, because, like, some characters get on anti-air supers. Oswald had it on his leader 11 because reasons. And actually, Kasumi in 11 had it really cool. She had an anti-air throw that had the property. So she could sweep into it.
Oh,
and
nice.
It was so rad.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Cool Rush, that's the question. Is this going to be which team is she going to be on? The girls team or the Art of Fighting team, or maybe even some other team in general? I mean, there
could be 2 girls teams too.
Right. I had always joked that I kind of wanted to have it so that it was one of these days to have a Yuri, Alice, Shingo team.
Yeah, the sidekick kind of thing.
Yeah, we're fanboys of the bigger guy team.
I mean, if they. Alice is one of those characters I feel so bad about, because I was the only person on the planet asking for her to be in the game. Like, I really wanted to see her cross over from the patches slots into KOF, and I don't like her. I was so not satisfied with her move list and everything. I'm like, dang. And then she took Mary's spot, which did not help her case.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's fair.
But, oh man, I would love to see Mei Lee come back, but that's a topic for later.
All right, let's find out.
Let's get into it.
Let's watch this thing now. I'm going to let's see how the game audio is. Hopefully, the video audio. Hopefully, it's not too bad, but we'll see. We won't talk as much during the initial play because
other than like,
listening.
Oh shit.
Yeah, exactly. So here we go. Yuri Sakazaki.
Please play Diet. Okay.
Yay!
She really does.
Yuri-chan, ビシッと決めちゃうぞ
Just have to
Yuri Sakazaki.
極限流奥
Omega Sound. Alright. I guess not.
Shatter all expectations.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, the kick super looks really cute, and I like the bonk.
Zangief came out of nowhere there.
Subscribed for some Olaf KOF knowledge. Hi, James.
Oh, okay.
Well, thank you.
Oh, there you go. I like that. I'm resubscribed for Olaf KOF knowledge. Hi, James. Damn. You try to tell me that I don't have the KOF? No, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah,
I
so
like
we need
upper foot. I like upper
upper
foot.
foot. So yeah, now we're gonna watch it in slow motion because there's gonna be so many pauses and detail seeking, but yeah, there's so much. Just I mean, the new Pow Pow stage makes me so freaking happy. Like, I mean, I'm taking that as the tax. Like, if I don't like Yuri, at least I got the Pow Pow stage.
Right,
That's
alright.
freaking awesome.
And Kill gets to come back, so they get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have a ponytail. So
Okay, so also the Mudman homages are really cool.
So that's World Heroes, right?
I love that guy.
So yeah.
They didn't. I don't say they like intentionally de-aged her, but it's more just carrying off of 14's art style.
Yeah, but I mean, even in 14, did she look this anime? No, I mean, it's hard to say because 14 just didn't look great overall, right? So
I don't know. I think she actually looks pretty reasonable. Like, she's definitely got an anime aesthetic, but she looks more or less how she should.
Okay, because her eyes look like they're way largerly anime than normal.
It's a lot of it's the shine too. They're very
Yeah.
bright, even for like her dark irises. Like, they're bright eyes.
I'm gonna have to go look for some clips of her 14 look just so I can remember.
Also,
right now.
actually, now that we have eyes big enough to do it, look how well the gloss on her eyes tracks with her head tilt.
Oh yeah, you're right.
It's actually pretty cool.
Yuri Sakazaki.
Yeah, now that portrait's cute as hell. Just
Yeah,
I'm gonna say it. All right. What's that?
Yeah,
over
it's
there?
interesting, like, when she's kinda
so that's her level 3, isn't it? That's her climax.
Maybe. Because the thing is, when she's like partially squinting, she looks more normal to me. Like, I feel like they made her.
That's racist.
Well, I'm not. Whatever. We're not talking anymore. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Get out of here. All right. Okay.
Okay, so
That's Jab.
we've got Bob Wilson and Richard Meyer both in the background because they own the well, technically Richard owns the shop. Bob's his apprentice and therefore his employee.
Which one's where? Here, this is Bob here.
Yep, there's Bob, and then there's Richard.
That's Richard. Huh? So
He's the one who used to cling from the ceiling.
Oh right. Okay. And Bob was the guy in Fatal Fury 2, right? Or
Did he appear in 2?
or no?
I know him more. Like, the thing is, my knowledge of the Fatal Fury games is better from like 3 on down.
Bob was in 3. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I knew he was in 3. Or I was pretty sure he was in 3.
Okay.
And I know he's in the real bouts.
Right. So there we go. Dive kick. Crouching
Crouch
heavy.
C.
Crouch C looks normal. There we go.
Forward B.
Same as usual. Back throw.
Generic throw.
I like the little guys playing the bongos back there.
Yeah, no, this background is so lit. It makes me so freaking happy. Swing them arms. Cheer for yourself.
Oh my god. She is far too adorable, and it's kind of sickening.
Get yoinked. The thing is, that might have... I'm not even sure if that was a regular air throw or the demon flip throw.
Right, I think that was a demon flip throw. Or it could be
I don't know, it might
animation.
be just be a normal air throw.
Could be the same animation for both of them or something for the startup. Fireball.
Yep, EX Saiha.
I just like the fact that this stage just gives me these very strong Tiki Room vibes right now. Yeah.
And that's a really good point. That basically deconfirms Bob and Richard as being playables.
Oh yeah, for sure. Unless they pull the Hugos in the back. I mean, like what was it? Who was it that was in one of the backgrounds and then eventually became playable in Street Fighter V? I forgot. Because it was Abigail. Abigail was in the final.
Alex.
Oh, Alex
was fixing his own truck unless he's being played, and then he stops fixing his truck. Yeah.
That's who it was. And I think Abigail was in the Final Fight background or something like that. Or am I just thinking of Saddam? I'm probably thinking of Saddam.
I think you're thinking Hugo and 4 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyways.
All right.
So the running grab.
I'm just laughing at... I'm just watching Andy's head right now. Look at this. No.
Wow, it actually does head turn every hit. That's nice. I approve of that behavior.
Ow.
In the name of the moon, I will punish you.
She just winked at me. That's what. Do you remember the original Wind Waker trailer? Where like one of the original Wind Waker...
I repressed that game.
Oh, really?
I really don't like that game.
In one of the original trailers, it ends with him looking at the camera and he winks at it. And my friend always called that then The Adventures of Wink.
All right. Okay, so now I'm going to run up you a lot.
Yep, that's standard.
Bonk. I like the bonk.
Yeah, the bonk is different looking than before.
Yeah, it actually looks like Cham Chams.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, what's up, Joe? Yeah, so there was a trailer today.
So there was a trailer today.
So there was a trailer today.
They're still chasing me. What?
God damn it, James.
Okay. Tried to run away.
Shokoken.
Not gonna run away. That's
okay,
so funny
so
too, because like I'm surprised nobody's ever taken the Shokokens or the those things and turned them into the Will Smith meme,
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm pretty sure someone has actually. Yeah. By the way, that looked like that was hit stun, not a backdash.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it looks like she comboed into it.
Oh yeah, you're right, because he's
Bonk.
like, ugh. Okay.
So now she has Super Saiha, which I think she might have had that in 14, but did it ever get used?
Right, and just to see how she gets blown back. Do you see this? Look at the way she gets blown back.
Art of Fighting team members, no, I have not mained any of them. I have a friend who's a big Ryo player. I have a friend who's a big Robert player. And I play King sometimes.
Oh, okay.
And I play Kasumi sometimes, but none of the Art of Fighting team themselves.
All right, and there's the combo into the EX uppercut, which we did see earlier.
Which is always the move that has more uppercuts. Mm-hmm. There's one game where she does like 5 of them. It's
really?
Like, really? Yeah. So EX Saiha is definitely the combo tool it was.
Yeah, what's interesting about Yuri so far is that, I mean, from a fashion point of view, her design is still very straightforward. She's
just Yuri.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that there's anything crazy with it.
I mean, if it ain't broke.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that she's a normal person outside of the fight, so I think she just wants to have her training outfit on.
Yeah. And then this is where she combos into the level 2 off of... Was that regular Saiha?
I think that was the EX Saiha still. Although technically it should kind of work either way.
Yeah, she was glowing yellow.
Yeah.
She was glowing yellow.
No, she just has like DP into DP because reasons. Yeah.
She's always had that though.
For at least a long goddamn time.
So that's her level 2, but strangely enough, they decided not to show her level 3.
Not in its entirety. They showed it at the beginning, and it looks like this is what's trailing off the end. Because that's going to be the same cinematic.
Right,
so it's basically, if you chop the footage together, you'll more or less find it.
So there you go. That's Yuri.
And the Sweet Pow Pow Cafe stage.
And the Sweet Pow Pow Cafe stage. And then, of course, we have to have the little extra Yuri here at the end.
Little taunt thingy.
Yeah. You know they're going to save Mai for the end going, why me bouncy?
Most commonly misheard lyric in fighting games.
Yeah. No, I mean, that one's definitely misheard, but hilarious. So
yeah.
You do it on purpose now, so...
Well, I mean, in all fairness, she has had Burn Knuckle before, so why not?
With Terry for women's team, you mean?
Oh, I was just talking about Yuri. Like, screw it, put her on the Fatal Fury team. Give her back Burn Knuckle, whatever.
Did she have Burn Knuckle at one point in time?
Yep. So Yuri's big trope is that she's constantly, like, quote-unquote stolen moves from other characters.
Oh, right.
So she's had, like, a legit Tatsu at one point.
Right,
She had Burn Knuckle. I always loved in 2001 she had Akuma's Raging Demon.
Right.
Like, just straight up did it. Like...
I mean, like, Terry on the women's team, I mean, just wear the Fatal Cutie hat.
Yeah,
just,
all day. I mean, personally, I'm 100% down for them to actually just have Girl Terry as a DLC costume.
Oh, man. The question is,
hello.
When she was in KOF, when she was in SNK Heroines, did he have a different voice?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely Girl Terry.
So what they should just do is just put Girl Terry in the game and just leave the voice. I think that would be hilarious.
Just this gorgeous blonde woman. Hey, come on.
Yeah. Knuckle! That would be
terrible
hilarious.
ideas. Hi, Nathan.
Hi, Nathan.
You want to say hi to the stream?
He's like, sort of. I just want food. Just want food.
I move away from the mic to breathe in.
What a cat.
Okay, so besides that, Sunday night, Monday morning, we got the patch notes for Samurai Shodown.
Yeah, I was actually surprised, but and then Xbox Series X and Xbox Series X users got access to.
I love how you didn't say that right. You said Series X and Series X.
No, I said S the first time, didn't I?
No.
Did I say X and X? Xbox Series S.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not really judging you. I just wanted to poke at it, but that like, why? Anyways,
Okay. So.
So the series consoles inadvertently got the update for the patch already. They don't have access to Cham Cham, but they have the balance patch.
Right.
And so that's led to some streamers around the world, you know, for all the 10 people who decided to buy a Series S or Series X, they've been streaming. And so we got to see, like, a lot of the extra detail. And then after that, Dengeki Online did their YouTube stream.
Right.
Showing off the balance patch and showing off Cham Cham. So we got a lot of context as to what the changes are, how they work, and I mean, we could theoretically even pull up the patch notes if we wanted and like talk about the changes, but the patch notes themselves are pretty hands-off.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. So, first of all, I mean, SNK actually even put out a notification, like, we don't know how the Xbox got this patch early. We're kind of investigating that right now. Which is really funny because, like, how does that even happen? Leaks? I swear.
My guess is the Xbox Game Pass pushes all updates faster than anyone else. Like, they want to try to update, like, every night. But, you know, the PlayStation Store is almost always, like, only on Monday night or only on Tuesday night or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think they're just like, oh, hey, cool, we've got this and it loaded. It's time to push updates. Whoops.
Yeah. And then, secondly, we did know about the guard break mechanic. They hinted at it from the.
Well, they announced it.
Yeah, they announced it at the first
round
trailer.
table.
Yeah, the first round table. And so we knew the guard break was coming. What's interesting is I know you've been doing a lot of research and studying and everything like that, because you just mentioned that the patch seems kind of hands off, but it also seems like it's pretty aware of how the guard break is going to change the complete like environment, the meta of the game, you know?
Yeah. Like, one thing I've been joking about is, so Earthquake has, like, literally one change in all the patch notes, and it even looks like it might be a nerf, or it's, like, the worst buff ever made.
Which was what? What is this?
It was like, it's like one of his falling fat moves, like, I don't remember if it's his teleport or his butt drop, like, has a different hurt box behind him, or some stupid crap like that.
Right.
But the thing is, with the guard crush mechanic, he might be the most buffed character in the game.
Right. Because he's got the range on the C's, for example. He's probably going to get a bunch of free, like, guard breaks.
Yeah, he's going to be, like, the scariest guard crush character. Mm-hmm. You know, similar thing applies to, like, Basara. You know, his, like, half-screen C being his guard crush button is going to be the buffs he needs to be playable, in theory.
Right, even a character like Iroha, which seemed like she got a bunch of nerfs in the patch, but maybe because her standing C is actually pretty decently ranged.
Yeah, her far C is, like, pretty gross. Mm-hmm. And letting her do stuff out of that is going to be huge. And most of her nerfs are just, like, Fireball is less abusable.
Right. Yeah,
like, that's, most of her change list is, like, try to make Fireball less abusable and her DPs do less damage.
Right.
That's it. So it's like, okay, no big deal.
So yeah, I'm really curious to see how this is going to play out. And from the videos that we've seen from the people who have access to the patch a little bit early, what is it, like 3 C slashes in general puts you glowing red, and then the fourth one is
the break.
Is the break.
Yeah, so anytime you're glowing red, you are crushable by a close or far standing C. And those are the only things that can do it.
Not even crouching C's,
nope.
huh?
Nope.
Oh, interesting. What about jump C's?
Nope.
Really?
Oh, it
okay.
has to be standing C in one fashion or another.
Interesting. But what makes it really interesting is that it becomes cancelable, right?
Yeah. So the C hits or it's blocked. It goes into guard crush state. It is treated basically like it hit, so you didn't recoil, and then it's instantly cancelable as if it was a normally cancelable normal. Mm-hmm. If you do combo out of this guard crush scenario, it's a counter hit. And that means big freaking damage. And it also looks like there's that's my guess, is, close C got sped up for a lot of characters. I think it's to encourage guard crush play, which also pairs very well with the new change of changing your run stop distance in proximity to the opponent.
Okay.
And some characters having their proximity normals adjusted.
So the run stop thing.
You can cancel into weapon flip as well.
Which is terrifying for one hit weapon flips like Haomaru, because then he gets the one hit all in counter hit damage, right? So you're gonna just take this big old.
But I mean, that's your own fault if you block his C.
Right.
You can just defend that. So one of the things is you can just defend guard crush and prevent it. You can't just defend guard meter reduction. Like if you just defend the first C, it's taking your guard meter down. Right. But if you just defend the guard crush attempt, you can prevent from being crushed.
Right. Now, interestingly enough, also. I was gonna say something.
Looks like it is. So the thing is, the guard crush is about the same length of time as a deflect.
Okay.
And the first 15-20 frames of it or so, you're not even burstable. Like, you can't.
Oh, that's burst. What I wanted to talk about. Yeah, you can burst out of this.
Yeah, after that, there becomes a point where you're still recovering and you're still hittable, but you can burst out. Right. But there's a portion of time where you can't. So characters with a really fast weapon flip can just do, like, C, weapon flip, counter hit damage, nothing you could do.
Right. Now, the question is, like, so obviously you can't cancel into SSM, so you're still not able to cancel the weapon break into an SSM. Some characters have the ability to cancel into something else, like toss an apple for Ukyo.
Or house fake fireball, or worse. The scariest one is, for me, in my opinion anyway, is Yoshitora's armored bunny hop.
Oh, yeah.
Because remember, he has that, like, full screen far 5C.
Right.
And all he has to do is, like, oh, one of them connected and crushed. Bunny hop. And now I'm on top of you.
Right. Now, the interesting thing about that is... they can do that into SSM, and you can probably still burst in reaction to the SSM, starting just like on the deflects and stuff like that, right?
Or like a throw or any of that.
So it's one of those situations where you're basically trading the SSM for their ability to burst an ESEN kind of thing. You're baiting that out early. And when it's going to be one of those things like, oh, I'm down, like, I only have a 4th life left, I'll just take this death and come the next round.
I'll just lose the round, it's fine. So then the other thing is that because, it's about as plus as a deflect, you can... at least most, if not all characters and most normals and whatever, you can just link the SSM after it anyway.
Oh, really? Dang, okay.
Like, you are done for a while.
Depending on the move that you use to...
Yeah, I mean, it could, right. Some characters might not be able to. Like, characters with, like, multi-hitting Cs. Like, like if you're at, like, sweep distance with Earthquake and you press C... you might not be able to link into it.
Right. And the other thing important, too, is that if you don't do anything, then the next hits of the C are going to connect, and you may lose some damage off of that, as opposed to canceling it into something to do. Now, I know I saw the guard break animation on your computer for a brief second, but, like, how called out is it? Like, or is it just, it's so, like, for example, if they're blocking Yasha C and it's like block, 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 and then they get guard break in the middle of it, is it easy to react to that to cancel before the next hit shows up?
And you get this giant blue flash, time stops for a moment, and then they, like, start recoiling. Like, it's pretty obvious.
Okay.
Again, it's really similar to the deflect.
Okay. And shoutouts to RV1 for the subscription there. Sigma Nuts Cat Butts. Thank you, Zilcho. Appreciate that. Hi.
Yeah, and there's a lot of footage running around. One of the guys who was doing it originally on his Xbox, whose name is absolutely eluding me right now. It's like Boar or something. He has like a lot of highlights. Up on there. I tweeted the link to his channel like Monday, I think, because I was just scrounging for all the stuff. But yeah, I know. I really think the new Guard Crush is going to change everything about how the game plays, assuming you have people to play it with. So this will be the good segue here.
Yeah. I mean, one of the nice things that I'm trying to do here, by the way, I don't know, I think Kitty's still in the chat. She bought me a little brush for my cats. And I just basically hold this up to him, and this is what he does. He loves this thing. He's just like, ugh.
Cats and brushes and cat brushes.
Yeah, but on tomorrow night, actually, I'm going to be starting my Samurai Shodown online Parsec casuals, where I'm going to do the same thing where I drop the tokens up on the screen and all that stuff like that. And so we can definitely try to play some of that tomorrow.
Also, Cone, yes, it does decay. So if you get to, so how it works is that you start at 100% guard, like just any given meter. You get whooped on a couple of times. It starts going down. Once you hit 25%, I believe it is, you start flashing red.
Right. Yeah.
And if you get left alone, you can actually get yourself out of the red. The training mode added a new tab just for guard crush settings.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
You should say what you will about the training mode settings pages, whatever. But they have this whole new page for it, and you can set what everyone's like starting crush is. So you can just leave them at like 25% and just test everything.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So it's going to be really convenient for labbing out like guard crush punishes and stuff like that. But yeah, it comes out Monday. Monday's the 16th, right?
Yeah. And that's when Cham also drops as well.
Who is amazing.
I mean, like I said, I still like the fact that in Samurai Shodown 2, she looked like she was just absolutely like vicious. Like when she
was gonna start barking at you for delivering mail.
Like when she threw the Tam fireball, like she would get angry anime face, like like that. I almost think she's a little too adorable now, you know?
I mean, that's a pretty good problem to have. She's cute as hell.
Yeah, I think she's a little too adorable right now, but
whatever. She got the Felicia color back. You're fine.
Yeah. I mean, I'll still try her. I'll still play her because she looks entertaining as all hell.
She looks so good.
Yeah.
Like, she has, like, all the range, all the speed, like, and just... she has a bunch of tools that make other characters good all rolled into one.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, she looks terrifying.
Because in original in SamSho 2, like, her move where she leapt forward and clawed you to death was just an attack. Like, it was literally just an attack.
Like
but
a
now
capture
it's like,
state kind of thing.
Yeah, but now it seems like it's actually a demon flip throw.
It might be a throw. And then she still has the low variation, but it looks like it's like a standing throw.
Yeah.
Because one thing I saw is that someone got it, someone went into it after a guard crush and they couldn't connect it.
Oh, interesting.
So that makes me think that guard crush is a non-throwable state,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
being thrown is and stuff like that. Because the same way, like, certain other characters have, like, really weird jank on when they can throw out of certain scenarios.
Okay.
But, you know, just do the low one.
Right.
Like, whatever. It's not like it's going to change how she plays, but it's something that might modify scenarios and mix-ups.
Right. By the way, we also didn't mention the other big system change was now that you can dodge during a run. Yeah, so you could run and try to bait out counter pokes and actually dodge now. So
Counter pokes or throw attempts or, you know, I think, isn't dodge shorter than throw whiff? So technically you can run up and dodge, and then if they jump away expecting a throw, you might be able to get pressure still.
yeah, or, you know, if someone suspects that you like to run up and throw, and you run, and then they try to throw you first, you can dodge, and then they'll whiff the throw, and then you'll come back out, and you'll be able to kill them. So that's another big change that they put in there. But, you know, as with most things in Samurai Shodown, it's just a big call-out, right? So if you run up to someone's face and dodge, and they didn't do anything, you're dead. So I wanted to ask about that. Do you know the details of the run stop change?
Specifically, no.
Okay.
But like in practice, if you start running at somebody, you don't have as much time recovering on the auto stop, and you would start the auto stop much closer.
Okay.
So, like, you just run in, and, like, basically now, if you just want to do forward, and do, like, the thing where you just try to push someone to the corner,
Right.
like, it is much faster than it used to be.
Oh, so your run, the auto stop is faster now.
So some characters, like, their optimal throw combo was throw, run, stop, do a normal, cancel off it.
Oh, yeah.
And now it looks like the auto stop is much better, so you might not have to do the really tricky manual stop.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, we covered that already, Daniel. We talked about the cancelable C, on Card Crush.
And it's going to be really fun to just lab out, especially with characters that, you know, they have Cs that are obviously not cancelable. You know, like just seeing Iroha's far C, where she, like, does the little cat leap.
Right.
And then just see her cancel into a ground move is the funniest fucking thing.
Did she have short hair in 14?
I think she did have just the little, like, bowl cut kind of thing going on.
Okay. Well, then if that's true, because if that's only like a little bit of time between 14 and 15, maybe those are extensions. You never know.
Maybe she tucked it in the back of her shirt. She had it there the whole time.
Oh, man.
Maybe she talked to Athena's hairdresser. I don't know.
I mean, does Athena have a hairdresser? Doesn't Athena just kind of
Athena is a pop star, first and foremost.
Okay, right.
She's going to have a hairdresser no matter what level of magic.
I mean, Athena can literally just change her hair probably at a
So she might have just
notice.
been like, Athena, give me my hair back, please. Thanks.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
So maybe Athena was just... Has Athena ever been on the girls' team? No, huh?
Always been Psycho Soldier.
She's always been Psycho Soldier, huh? I actually... No, because we were talking about this already and completely jumped back to KOF 15 and stuff.
Did you just apologize for talking about KOF?
Well, we were in the middle of SamSho. We'll get back to SamSho in just a little bit. But, like, I was talking about this, and you kind of alluded that to there being lore that I wasn't aware of. Because I saw artwork of the girl from Metal Slug. You said Theo, right? Yeah, I saw that, and I was just thinking to myself, like, this Metal Slug, like, they should put these characters into the game as part of the Psycho Soldier team or something.
No,
I'm not
the
Kari Warriors team. Like, why not put her in the game or something like that?
And I'm like, so about that.
You're right,
Because I definitely had a good segue for this. So the other day, I put out a thing on Twitter of, you're right, because 03 didn't have a Psycho Soldier team at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she was on cute teen girl squad. basically. She was on Teen Girl Squad in 03.
And who was she with?
Hinako and Malin.
Oh, okay.
I'll get there. So I put out KOF15. Name 3 characters you want to be in the game, but they can't have been in 14, but they had to have been in a previous KOF. First off, the results of this, all the comments, all the replies, all the quote retweets really caught me off guard.
Okay.
Because there were some characters I was like, really? There were some replies where I was like, I know you want your Art of Fighting character, but they haven't been in a KOF before. Like, come on. But one character that I saw a fair amount of times is Fio. Because Fio appeared in KOF Maximum Impact Regulation A.
Oh, so she was in
She was in one of the 3D ones.
Okay. Gotcha. Huh.
And on top of that, we also had a rep in Neo Geo Battle Coliseum.
Oh, okay, but that doesn't really count as a KOF.
Not as a KOF, but I mean, like, that's 2 different.
Right.
Okay, that's right, MI2. Dude, honestly, I went straight from MI1 to Reggae. Like, I played MI2 for like 5 minutes.
Right. Well, you also made the caveat that you couldn't name Chris, Yashiro, and Shermie.
I said bonus because like, let's be honest. First off, everyone wants Chris, Yashiro, Shermie. I'm not even going to play them, and I want them in the freaking game. But also, I feel like they're
popular. Dang. Okay.
And they're super popular, and they're kind of super overdue to actually come back.
But they were supposed to be dead, though, right? I mean, that's why.
And now that we know that they're not dead.
Right, yeah, obviously. Yeah.
And I mean, also with the ending of SNK Heroines, it's kind of like, yes, they're in the game.
Oh, did they actually...
More than heavily implied. Shermie's ending literally says CYS and then spells it out as see you soon.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
No, I had a lot of people say Chris and not Yashiro or Shermie. Chris also really made the list. Yashiro is apparently the least popular, and I think he's the most fun.
Because it's really funny to me, because like when KOF 98 was in the arcades, and then like all this other stuff, I wasn't really a big fan of them. Like, I didn't really care for any of them. You know what I mean? Like, I was never a big Chris, Yashiro, Shermie. Like, I was like...
Oh, boy. Yes, I agree 100%, because there are so many characters I got replies that I'm literally like, you just like playing a top tier. I refuse to believe this many people deeply care about Nameless, Hinako, and Bao at the same time.
It's weird. Fighting game fandom, character fandom is a very weird thing, because I feel like a lot of times people really like characters that, like, they've never had any association with. You know what I mean? Like, I still remember when they announced in Street Fighter V that Mika was going to be in the game, and all these people were like, yay, Mika! And I was like, man, you people all hated Mika, dude. There wasn't a single person during Alpha 3's run that liked Mika. Everybody thought she was a stupid character. Everyone was I used to play her all the time. They're like, and I was like, see, I don't like the Third Strike characters because I don't like weird fighters or whatever like that. And they're like, bro, you play Mika. She's like the stupidest. And I was like, dude, she's a female wrestler.
That is the most apples and oranges shit.
And I was like, dude, Mika is like actually legit. Like, female wrestling, Flying Peach is actually a move. The hip check is actually a move, right? And I was like, what the hell? And people would try to compare my hatred of...
J-Fei is not top tier in O2UN.
People used to try to make fun of my distaste for Oro and Necro and 12 by saying I liked Mika. And I was like, how is this even... Like, I like when the people are actually, like, fighting styles, you know? Anyways.
What do you mean you like a character I think is dumb? You play Arakune. Like, that makes sense!
Right, yeah.
But no,
exactly.
like, I don't like Arakune because he's weird. But you play girl with gun. Like, fucking what?
I mean, like I said, Mika actually makes sense to me, too, because Mika like I said, is an actual fighting style that I would like to. That's my obsession.
And the thing is, like, women's pro wrestling has like a large like following in Japan.
Exactly. So, and when Mika was introduced, a lot of people didn't know about that. And so when I was sitting there talking, I'm like, dude, look it up. Like, female wrestlers dressed in weird frilly outfits and doing hip checks is a real thing.
I mean,
you know.
Even so, like, wasn't China in WWE by that point?
What were they?
That was like really ballpark time frame.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, come on. I was like, come on, you can't make it.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Nameless is attractive, and they gave him his whole backstory and everything, but he's just there to replace K49, and I have people asking for both.
Yeah, and unfortunately, neither of them can show up.
No, K49 can never show up. Nameless theoretically could.
Okay, he could. Okay.
Yeah, like, there's already, like, layers of, like, cease and desist for the redacted character, yes. But yeah, they had a lot of cool stuff like that. Had a fair amount of people asking for Max Impact characters.
Right. Yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm sure Falcone somewhere out there is happy that people still really like that. On the other hand, I'm really like, do you really need Che Lim back? It's just EX Kim as a girl.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there were a lot of Shingos, yeah.
No.
But I'm not judging anyone who asked for Shingo.
Wait, Shingo wasn't in 14? Oh, really? Okay.
Nor 13, nor 12.
No, I think you also hinted that there were 2 Metal Slug characters that were...
So one was in Battle Coliseum, and then
Oh,
one
that's
was
right,
in
that's right. Yeah.
But then there is one more thing. Is that the Ikari Warriors team ending in 14 has the cast of Metal Slug in the back. Like, they're all present for the briefing.
Oh, that's so
There's like
funny.
at least like 2 or 3 of them that are there.
Did Ralph and Clark ever show up in a Metal Slug game?
Ralph, Clark, and Leona
They
have
were
all been in Metal Slug 6.
Really?
And then the mobile games, Metal Slug Attack and Metal Slug Defense, have pretty much every Ikari Warriors character.
Dang, do they even have Hydern?
Believe so.
Jesus, okay.
I know Whip had at least 1 or 2 units.
You know, I've never played a Metal Slug game. I should
At all?
No, never. Even at the UCLA arcade, even though I could have played them for free all the time, I have never played.
Dude, my mom has played Metal Slug. Wow.
I have never played a Metal Slug game, even though those games are probably right up my alley.
Yeah. No, and Leona's freaking fun as hell, but honestly, I think Ralph and Clark are way more fun, just because they, like, straight up have their command grabs.
Dude, I should just sit down and just try to bash through every Metal Slug game.
I'm on board.
Like, as like a crazy... I mean, how long do those games usually take to beat, right? Because if you have Infinite Continues...
like, an hour or 2.
Yeah.
Like, they're not bad.
We should just, like... Every week, I should just play one of them.
Dude, I'm on board.
Yeah, no, I am an old man. I just never played Metal.
That's right. Metal Slug 3, and I think one of the other ones is just a huge pain in the ass and is a far more quarter muncher than usual, so it might take longer. But otherwise, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we should try to dig out the Metal Slug Ikari Warriors representation. Some of them are really cool.
Now, what are the what platforms are all these Metal Slugs on?
Everything after X, I think, you basically would need the 360, but X on down, we're all in the MVS and AES.
Because I swear to God,
we got the anthology.
Yeah, I feel like I own a lot of these things, just, you know...
and then most of them are on Steam at this point.
Yeah, I feel like I own a lot of these, but, like, I've just never installed or played them.
Yeah, X is pretty much, like, universally accepted. It's one of the, like, least rare, but one of the most popular.
Yeah, see, I've got 1, 2, 3, and X on Steam already. They're just chilling here, so... But how many are there now?
Like 6.
So they have Metal Slug 1, 2.
Wait, 3. Metal Slug Defense is on Steam?
What is Metal Slug Defense?
It's a mobile game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I played Metal Slug Attack on phone for a while.
Okay. So they only have Metal Slug 1, 2, 3, X, XX, and Defense here.
Okay, Double X is the one you'd want then. Because that's the one that actually gets other representation.
Oh, okay. 7 mainline games.
Oh my god, yeah. The turning Metal Slug into, like, Doom or Quake 1 like in an like old school FPS engine.
Oh, I saw someone actually doing that. Yeah,
that's what they're talking about.
So I saw the mod.
Yeah, I retweeted. That shit is awesome. Especially like when you get the reflection, you see him in the slug. I was like, yes.
I'm just gonna take a look at the PlayStation Store right now. I'm just gonna look up to see what they got.
There were a couple other characters that that people were asking for, and I'm like, come on, man,
Metal
really?
Slug Anthology is $5 right now.
But that's like a port of a port kind of thing. So
is it not very good, or
I don't think that's even the PS4 port. I think it's the PS2 updated to PS4. So that means it's gonna have like all the, yeah, no, just you definitely would not want that one if you can help it.
Okay, well, what is?
Input lag.
There's input lag. Yeah. I see.
Yeah, okay. So that's the thing. Any of the MVS games, it's going to be pricier, but you want to do like the hamster ports, the ACA.
Right. You're talking about these ones here, right?
Yeah, those are the good ones. Because those ones are just like the original arcade version ported out. They work fine.
And shout outs to Cone for the subscription. Missed that there. So it's Metal Slug 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, X and XX, or someone said X is just a remake of 2.
Yeah, and I think technically didn't it go 1, 2, 3, 4X, 5 or something like that? Like it did something weird. Like I don't remember what order they are in exactly. Okay. I literally haven't thought about this in like 20 years.
1, 2,
X, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, double X. That's the order?
Technically, okay. So
is that release order or like canonical order?
So what's interesting about that then is if you don't count X, which is the remake of 2, then that's actually 8 games then, right? Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, XX. So, what would people recommend as the best way to play the old Metal Slug games then? What is the... Oh, here we go. This is this thing here.
Yeah, this is so cool.
Let me just throw this over here for you guys to see.
And then using the actual sprites or the explosions. Bringing out the underwear. So good. The laser.
Okay. Oh dang, you can even jump in the tank.
Yeah, and again, like you see the reflection of you in it. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's cool. And even the gunshot animation, like the way the hand recoils looks so similar too. So that's actually really nicely done.
Yeah, they're doing a fantastic job. I'm really curious.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, rocket launcher.
Rocket launcher.
Yeah. Rocket launcher.
That's hilarious.
I still remember that, like, again, going back to like 20 years ago, internet history. I remember someone actually like was so attached to that phrasing and writing of it, they drew a picture of a like crappy lawn chair with rockets boosted to it, and they're just flying out into the sky, all happy.
Jasmine's not as big of a fan of the brush just yet as Nathan is.
But that being said, I would be on board for them to actually put, more Metal Slug characters into the KOF universe.
Oh, is Fightcade actually a good place to play these things?
I mean, it's been emulated forever, so...
Right, yeah. I wonder which one, like, where is the best place to play these things, That's just the question. That's always the hardest thing about trying to play these old games, because a lot of the times people will be like, yeah, you should play these games, but it's actually really hard to find a good... Because every port of everything always will have those detractors out there, which is why I noticed, like, Oric and a bunch of other guys were talking to me about the Mr. Trend now, the Mist, M-I-S-T. Which,
I see, but I'm not entirely sure.
So
exactly.
what it is they're using FPGAs, and I wish I could explain to you what FPGAs are properly. So here's the true story.
That makes sense.
Our other best friend with me and Cone, Jason, who you've met before, that's all he did in college and stuff. He learned FPGAs and stuff like that.
I remember you telling me about that part of the story. Okay.
And he eventually got hired at a company because there's not a lot of people out there who know a lot about FPGAs, especially at the time that he got the job, right? And they were like, holy shit, you know all this stuff and you're amazing and blah, 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 blah. And now he's like super important at this company and does all this stuff. And so one time I asked him, what the hell is an FPGA? Can you explain it to me properly? And this was one of the days that he came down and we decided to do something really crazy, which is we had annual passes to go to Magic Mountain. What's going on? Yeah. So
fascinating.
So basically, we went to Magic Mountain because we had annual passes, and we were going to go to Not Scary Farm that night. So we drove from Magic Mountain to Not Scary Farm, and that took about an hour and a half or 2 hour of a drive.
Oh, so the traffic wasn't bad.
Yeah, traffic wasn't bad. Right, exactly. During that drive, he was trying to explain to me how FPGAs work, and it took him that long to explain it to me. And I'm a programmer, so...
Yeah.
So, like, I was like, But basically, it is, like, think of it this way. Like, let's say I need a specific chipset to do this certain thing, right? And so, like, I'm going to order all these chips from this company to produces all these things for me. Okay, so I bought 1,000 of these boards, and through 500 of them, you've changed the product. Now you got to throw away 500 of them and get new ones, blah, blah, blah. So instead, what they've done is basically made programmable chipsets. So basically, instead of buying the board with all the chips on there, you buy like blank boards almost, and then you have a programming language kind of thing that you could use to write what you need to write onto the chips. And so you can buy these things, you do the design on there, and then you can program things manually that way. So that saves people money. It's more dynamic, all this other kind of stuff like that. And people, if I'm wrong on this, please, people in the chat correct me.
If nothing else, this seems like this would be a really good way to preserve one particular arcade board because nobody's fucking working on it because it's dumb and a pain in the ass, but I want it so badly.
Which one?
Hyper Neo Geo 64.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Hyper 64s.
Someone is working on the CPS2 FPGA for Myst right now, and they've already gotten a demo of Alien vs Predator out there from the links that I saw. But the reason why that this is so good is because they're emulating the actual arcade boards so much that this is like the most accurate way to do this, and it's becoming such a big thing in the retro scene because this right now might be the optimal and best way to preserve everything, turning the chipsets into software with FPGAs, and then they can basically reproduce them, and that's why it's like better than most emulators, no latency. The video that I showed example, they were playing one of the Neo Geo games. I think it was one of the shooters. Might not even been a Neo Geo shooter, but they were showing how the emulators, the background got drawn into a different order. You know how they figured out Billy Mitchell cheated on that one Donkey Kong?
Yeah.
It was kind of similar to that, that the emulator draws the stage in frame by frame, and it looked different than the way the actual arcade draws them in. And they would actually show you, and then they showed on the Myst one that it would happen. And even on some of the emulators, they were playing the game side by side, and they would actually get desynced because the emulator was actually running at a very slightly faster rate, and things like that. So it's really interesting. So this whole thing called capital M, lowercase I, capital S, capital T. I don't know what it stands for, but ER, sorry, Mr. Yeah. But this is the current trend in retro that Oric was telling me about. And so I started looking into it, and I was like, this is really cool. And because I had talked about, what was it that I talked about? Getting the Darksoft for my, for boards and everything like that. But then someone else was like, you should look into Mr. And then Oric linked me the stuff to that, and I was like, oh, that's kind of sick, actually. Yeah. So
I'm wondering if this would make any of the Hyper Neo Geo stuff more practical, because the problem with the Hyper Neo Geo is that it's one arcade machine. There's 3 of them. Depending on what genre of game you're trying to play.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus,
So there's
okay.
basically 3 Hyper 64s. One for fighting, one for like sports.
literal different versions of them?
And they only, like the fighting one only supports Hyper 64's fighting cartridges.
Oh my god.
And then there's the driving one, which is one driving game on the entire system.
Right.
And then the third one, I don't even remember, is like sports or
Right.
something.
So you just have to find that one guy who's obsessed with Neo Geo, who can do all this stuff and is like, I'm willing to put in all this work to recreate all this for one driving game. You know?
So my point is that if anything could be like, if this can be done to update and modify around the differences between the hardware, it might actually work better for supporting all 3 boards at a time. Maybe.
I should talk to Jason about this. I should just be like, hey,
the problem is you still have to get Hyper 64 emulation running to begin with.
Right.
And oof.
And they've actually talked about that. One of the difficulties of actually emulating these things is they need the real thing. Mm-hmm. Like, and if those things just aren't out in the wild anymore, they can't find them anymore, you know, so.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, so right now one of my goals is that sometime in the next year or two I want to own a Hyper 64. Because I want to play more Bariki 1.
Now, what if someone actually figured out a way to do it on Mr.? Would you be okay with just getting the Mr. and then playing
No,
the
I'd just get both.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
I would get both.
People do not realize. Oh, shout out to Tuba.
But the thing is that there's
Thanks to it, FatCat
the
321
sub
for my
gift.
sub
There you go.
gift.
Nice.
the thing is though is that people wanted the CPS3 games.
Yeah,
There's not as
yeah.
many people who care that deeply about SamSho 64 and Bariki 1.
But yeah, people, if they don't understand, like, Mike's SNK fandom knows no bounds, right? So yeah,
It's pretty powerful. It's pretty powerful.
I mean, you're definitely a bigger fan. Okay, yeah, no problem, Tubo. But you're a bigger fan of SNK stuff than I am, even of the Capcom stuff, you know? Because like
that might be accurate.
Yeah, I mean, I love Street Fighter and all that stuff, and I love Mega Man and everything. But like, I mean, like Mega Man X7 and X8 are garbage, right? And
Okay. Now, okay. If you want to talk about like, I love a lot of things, but to this day, as a game, I still don't care for Mark of the Wolves.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Mark of the Wolves is like one of my least favorite Fatal Fury games.
Which is crazy,
Right?
You know what that makes you? That makes you the SNK hipster, right? 'Cause
Probably.
You're like, I like everything SNK except this really popular one, you know?
Yeah. I definitely prefer Real Bout Special and Real Bout 2. Leagues ahead.
It's really funny, too, that you say that, Scorch, because on the Tuesday show, I was even explaining that because we were talking about the lore, and I was like, oh, it'd be really interesting if this week they revealed Mai and then put Terry with, you know, Rock and, like, Geese, right? Like, it just, like, being a family reunion team already. And I know Tubo and David were like, oh, we don't really care about the lore and everything. And I was like, if you're an SNK fan, especially a KOF fan, probably lore has a lot to do with it. You know what I mean?
I have to read that one out loud.
Which one?
Nah, disliking Garo is normal if you actually play it. Don't mess with Mark of the Wolves fans, they don't play it. No, Real Bout 2 is godlike.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Bariki 1 being the home of Gaitendo and having the badass Rio Mr. Karate.
Yeah.
And Silver. Yo.
Like, because, like, literally, I was telling them, I was like, lore is one of the reasons you're going to like KOF, because KOF is so, like, the lore is so consistent. You know what I mean? So, you know, it almost, like, it's going to be hard-pressed to find someone who's a huge fan of KOF who doesn't care about the lore, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, so this is a really good segue. So one of the things for me is that I don't understand people who don't care at all about lore. Mm-hmm. Because, and I've like written articles about this way back in the day, is that I really feel that one of the strongest things you can do with having mains in a fighting game is having the emotional attachment to them.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you don't care about the lore, it's much harder to develop the emotional attachment to them.
Yeah.
Like, they're just like, it's a series of functions. You know, but it's like, no, this is my dude. Like, I've been hanging out with Geese for 20 years, you know, like... I feel like that's a relevant thing.
Oh, so
yeah.
Tubo actually goes the other direction. I mean, the funny thing is for me, like, I can go either direction with lore, right? And I do like the lore, so.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Right, yeah. And well, I don't play Gejiro anymore.
What's wrong with having a flawed character?
Oh,
Man, Deadpool doesn't even know Deadpool's lore anymore.
God, nobody knows what Deadpool's lore is anymore. Yeah, for me though, I mean, like I said, I can go either way because obviously, like, I am a big fan of Street Fighter characters, and their lore is garbage, right? I mean, Cammy's lore has literally been rewritten, right? Because like in the end of Super Turbo, it was
they were
don't
lovers.
You remember? We were lovers. Yeah, now they weren't lovers. Actually, she was the prototype and main body of the clone that he wants to become.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Which then got worse into, like, she's the clone of the original who is still there.
Right, or something. And I'm just like, whatever, I don't care. I mean, for me, obviously, I mean, I think the dolls are cool. I like the dolls and the concept of them and everything, and I like knowing which doll is
that.
which
And if you
everything.
read into it, it makes Bison that much creepier.
Yeah, I don't think about that part of it. But to be honest with you, I actually like the Delta Red storyline for Cammy a lot more. I'm more interested in that part.
I mean, even if you go into like the comics after that, where they retcon without retconning, I like some of that.
Yeah, yeah. And then of course, she likes cats.
Oh yeah.
So, you know. I mean, so for me, like, even when it comes to lore and stuff like that, even small things like that matter to me. Like, one of Ryu's biggest fears is, you know, how they always had the likes and the dislikes and stuff. One of his biggest dislikes was spiders. Mm-hmm. And I love that.
Yeah, no.
Because, like, if you think about it, he carries that little sack with him everywhere he goes. And whenever he digs through it,
oh god, spider!
Like, yeah, fucking spider! You know.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, that's honestly one of the reasons why a fair amount of people love Vanessa, is because her likes is beer. That's liquid bread to you.
Yeah, but that's the thing too, right? I mean, obviously, there's also the people out there who just want to play fighting games and just beat people up, and these are my main characters and whatever like that. But
I don't know. I just find it harder to have an emotional attachment to a character that doesn't have a plot, or the plot I don't know. You know, like if I'm like, I like this character, so I'm gonna learn things.
Ken put a spider in Ryu's mouth while sleeping to prank him. I mean, that would do it right there.
That sounds like something they would have put in Street Fighter 2V.
Yeah. 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 That's just a great story about that because, you know, there's the very infamous swimming pool scene in Street Fighter V, right? So me and my brother actually saw that and we were just like, oh boy. And then one time Alan and Jason were at our place visiting and they're like, we want to watch this. They're like, okay, cool. So like we were sitting there watching it, and when that scene was about to come up, I was like, I'll be right back. And then I left the room and my brother was like, hey, I'm gonna go check up on James. And he like left the room, and after like we just heard Alan and Jason start screaming, and then like we came back in, they're like, you bastards.
You let this happen.
Oh man. But yeah, I'm obsessed with lore because I had a whole universe created, right?
Yeah.
With characters and stuff like that. But
yeah, I mean, there's definitely certain stripes of nerd who are going to get more invested in lore than others. Like, I'm not like judging, but it's like not caring at all is just always really jarring to me. But again, like that's probably
not the worst atrocity you have inflicted. You know, like I always say, my favorite thing is, you know, just talking to Cone and Jason and my brother about how mad I get at fighting games, and they just watch it and just be like, meh.
Yeah.
Because we've played Mario Kart together, you know.
Oh, man. I mean, tell me you guys never played New Super Mario Bros. Wii.
No, well, me and Jason actually played New Super Mario Bros. Wii, but we were always trying to help solve it, you know, together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, God, the amount of...
I've always loved Penny Arcade calling it divorce mode. So...
The funniest one was, like, there were times where we were like, okay, so...
Actually, you want us to put the Yuri trailer on loop muted?
Loop muted?
Yeah, loop it muted.
How do you do looping?
I think you just, like, right-click or something.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Interesting. Okay.
Perfect. Now we can just keep seeing the stage come through.
Okay. One of the funniest things about... actually, I'll play it at slower speed.
Cool.
Just so it's like less distracting. I'll do it like half speed or something like this.
Yeah, no, the team endings are fucking awesome.
One of the funniest things was like me and Jason would play New Super Mario Brothers Wii, and like we had to collect those stupid dragon coins or whatever like that, right? And so a lot of times it would require one person to make some precarious jump, right? And so we would sit there and like, but you could bubble yourself in that game, right?
Yeah, shit's cheap.
So we would just sit there and be like, okay, I'll just stay over here. You try to get it, and then if you mess up, you bubble to save yourself, and then we can try it again, right? But the problem is, we were both so gamery and twitchy about the whole thing. He would jump and look like he's about to die, and we would both bubble. Like, I would like, oh shit, and then bubble myself, and then we'd be like, what the hell did you do? And then game over. We're like, god damn it.
Brilliant.
Oh, man. Oops, hang on, let me do this.
So anyways, yes, lore. I'm a big lore person, and yeah, like you were saying, that's probably one of the things that like a lot of people get into KOF for.
Yeah.
Is just like, hey, these characters are cool. Oh, wow, there's a lot going on here. Oh, these guys have known each other for years. Oh, this guy's a douche. All right, this guy...
And that's what's kind of interesting to me, and this would actually be a really cool segue as well. But what's really cool to me is that, you know, I don't necessarily need the lore. Like, if I even have, like, oh, Mika's a big fan of Zangief, the end. You know, I'm like, that's neat. You know what I mean? But, you know, as I learned more about the KOF lore, like, to me, it's fascinating. Like, I actually really think it's neat because I do have an appreciation of that, and that's why I'm getting all giddy with, you know, the Sacred Treasures team finally being an official team. I think that's super cool. You know, I think it would be cool if they put Maya on the team with, you know, with Andy and Joe instead, so Maya and Andy could be on the same team. You know, because Andy actually, they put a different girl on the team once, wasn't it? And like,
yeah, Mary.
Yeah, it was Mary, and she was all mad about it and stuff like that.
There's been a lot of layers with those teams.
Right. But I mean, the reason why I said that this might be a good segue is because one of the things we wanted to talk about was the content creators out there, right? And actually, let me stop this trailer, even though we just...
This is a great opportunity.
Yeah, because we want to... One of the nice things is there's a lot of dedicated SNK fans out there. A lot of them. And a lot of them have really cool content creation as well. And one of the ones that you've been showing me was, what's his name?
ShoryuGame.
ShoryuGame.
This chat's already on it.
There you go. ShoryuGame here. Now, I don't know where he's based. Now, obviously, like when you listen to these videos and you hear him talk, he has a very distinct accent. You know, if that bothers you, then so be it, whatever. But I mean, like, you know, the information that he provides in these videos are amazing, actually. Like, you can even see here, he's got the story of Iori, the story of Kyo, and like he even like had videos that talked about the entire, oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah, like the entire Orochi saga.
Yeah, KOF lore here.
Yeah.
So, whoops, I hit play all. That's not what I wanted to do. The KOF lore here. So you can see he has the entire saga of things talked about here. Let me see. Oh, the story of Athena, the story of K-Dash, what is verse, the Orochi saga explained, the Ness saga explained, the Tales of Nash. So if you guys don't know, KOF is always divided into the sagas. Right, so 94 counts, I guess. 94, 95,
94
96.
asterisks.
Right.
95, 96,
94
97.
through 97 is the Orochi lore, is the Orochi saga, culminated in 98, which is the Dream Match, which Dream Match
is like, yeah, the saga is over, here's a Dream Match.
Yeah, Dream Match, which do not add to the lore. The Dream Matches are literally just... have fun. Like, here's just this fantasy game. Dead characters are back. Let's go. Mm-hmm. And then after 98, then 99 through, what was it, 2003?
2001.
2001.
Because there's supposed to be 3 game arcs.
Oh, okay. So it was basically 95, 96, 97. Then 99, 2000, 2001 is the Nest saga, which is the clone saga, essentially,
More
to
or
kill
less,
clones, right? And then, oh yeah, of course, because 2002 was the next dream match, of course. So 2002 was the next dream match.
I like how we're making people watch like YouTube ads behind Kyo.
Oh yeah, sorry, let's kill that.
There we go.
And then 2003.
11 and then 13,
right?
Because we got the asterisk out of 12,
right? Because 12 was kind of like, we're not done with the game, but here, play the game.
Yeah, and then so that fulfilled the dream match for the Ash Saga as well. Oh, because then they went from 13 into 14.
Right, because they basically didn't have a dream match version for the Ash Saga.
Now, admittedly, we did get O2 UM during that time period,
right?
So you can also kind of do that.
Right, but that's basically what it is that, you know, there's the different sagas, and again, if you're a big fan of the lore and the storylines and everything like that, it's very important and very, one of the most, you know, cool things about it is here's the Orochi saga, here's the Nest saga, here's the Ash saga, and so here ShoryuGame explains all of them in nice little 15 to 20 minute videos here where he explains the whole entire story.
Yeah. And the videos tend to be like really well informed. If there's something he's not sure, he's just like, well, fuck it, I'm putting Wikipedia this, and then he'll like add game footage.
Yeah, I was just about to say that too. Like, one of my favorite things about it is like he'll like, yeah, and then this happens and he defeats this, and then he'll just show like footage of him playing against the computer to beat somebody up, and then like, they're really nicely edited. They're really like
well scripted, well constructed, and again, like he's obviously passionate about it.
Moroccan, huh? Okay.
That sounds reasonable.
And like, what was it? Didn't he have one that was about? It was the Athena saga, or no? Which video was the one where they talked about the dragon thing?
For Kenso?
Yeah.
Doesn't Kenso have his own video, or was it part of?
It might have
the
been
Athena one.
It might have been part of the Athena one, but I remember because like Kenso's a character that I've always wanted to play, you know, because he's Chinese. Well, yeah, he is Chinese, right? He's officially
Chinese-ish.
Yeah. By modern spellings, I think his name would be Xie.
Yeah,
Kenso,
I believe so.
Xie Kenso, probably. But you know, he was always a character that I played. So even in 13, my team was Kenso, Benimaru, and Yuri, which was a really good team. She's a really strong team.
Doing all right for yourself.
Yeah, but you know, I played that for maybe like, you know, a whole 2 weeks or something like that because I just never got it. Yeah, Kenso is the Athena simp. Yes, that is 100% true.
Who eats Nikuman.
Who eats a lot of bao, yeah. But, you know, it was just cool because I didn't even know about his story. I didn't even know how he was a descendant of, like, some crazy thing and had some built-in dragon power.
And then, like, the Hizokus are all keeping an eye on him and all this crazy shit.
And then they just abandoned that lore completely and it just went away.
Yep. I mean, there's still a lot from the Ash Saga that we don't know left over.
Right.
Like, everyone left from those from the past, like Shroom and Botan.
Right.
You know.
And then even, you know, like the fact that after the Orochi Saga ended, Orochi was destroyed and everything like that, which is why in the 14 ending where they brought back the Sacred Treasures team and saw Orochi and they're like,
nope.
Yeah, they're like, nope. You know, I mean, it was kind of funny and significant because of that lore, but that also now opens, of course, for CYS to come back and I guess if that you said the SNK Heroines ending actually.
Heroines ending and interviews where like I think it was Oda even said like canonically yes, Shermie is back because like Heroines isn't completely non-canon basically, not 100%.
Right, and that's also one thing too important to remember too is we mentioned this last week, but obviously Art of Fighting and Fatal Fury are on different timelines. Yeah. Basically, they're on different multiverses.
Basically,
because Art of Fighting was supposed to take place in the 70s, and so it would actually be old Ryo here right now.
June getting run over was about the funniest fucking plot point ever.
What?
June was in 99 and then got cut for years because he got run over because he got distracted by an Athena cardboard cutout because he's an Athena fanboy.
That's funny. Oh, man.
So answering that question, which is a complicated question that pops up a lot, is SNK Saudi Arabia now? No.
Yeah.
No, they are still a Japanese corporation. It's just that their majority stakeholder investor is in the Middle East.
Yeah, and again, obviously there's a lot of issues with that. If you decide that you don't want to be an SNK fan anymore and support KOF anymore because of that, more power to you. I totally get it. I totally get it. And
I agree with you. If you're going to take that stance, go the whole way and don't buy anything ever again.
Right.
Because nobody is innocent, and it's really hard to control who your own shareholders are.
Yeah, and that's
once you go public.
I mean, it's the whole, like I said, I always bring up that Good Place conversation where one of the characters tries to be good on Earth, and they're like, I just wanted to eat this delicious chicken sandwich, but it means I hate gay people now, and like that's just kind of what it is.
I mean, be glad you're not a vegan. You would be surprised how much food you have to cut out that doesn't seem like it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I keep saying, Jar, that freaking right now the USA team needs to make it back. I think that I think it's time. I think it's been overdue. Mm-hmm. I think it's overdue.
So I've been sitting on something a little bit.
Okay.
So I've been thinking about like the plot and canon of KOF games and all this, and so let's for a moment, let's take away teams that are characters that are exclusive to King of Fighters.
Okay. And by the way, I'm just letting you guys look through this here, like even as my quick thoughts on the King of Fighters 15 trailer. Kokula Diamond lore, but like Garu, Mark of the Wolves story explained, top 10.
Which actually is kind of nice because it can use it because that one's, all the canon is spread across like 3 endings.
Okay.
So.
And then top WTF moments. But see, this is what I mean. It's not even just the lore. He's got a lot. I mean, look, he's even got Metal Slug story explained here. So this is
he loves some SNK.
This is an SNK fan here. The top fire users in King of Fire. Like, he just has a lot of really interesting videos here. And, just judging by you look at the view count, right? I mean, like 48K, 23K, 25K. This one has freaking 178K because he's ranking the King of Fighters games from best to worst tier lists. This is just how it works.
I mean,
basically.
Shoutouts to the waifu tier ranking.
Yeah. Here we go. 76K right here on the waifu tiers. So, I mean, he has a lot of good content here, very popular content. So, again, speaks to the quality of the stuff that he makes. Yeah.
And honestly, it's a hell of a lot more fun than reading through a bunch of articles.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, the editing is really good. The pacing is really good. And, the way he describes it. And, he's very, like you said, he's very straightforward. He's like, blah, blah, the true lore on this part is not quite explained properly. Or he'll be like, oh, I think this is how it went. But...
I mean, there's one or two things that, like, he goes off of, like, what's the currently accepted rather than there being any sort of established fact. But I just kind of cut him slack on that. I'm not going to be that guy.
But all you have to do is just search for ShoryuGame, and you'll see that. Let me go back here. If you search for ShoryuGame, his is just going to come up right away, right? I mean, look at this, 33.5K subscribers. So he's got a lot of great content here. A lot of good stuff here. Uploads. Yeah, this is everything. Oh, dang, he just did a Shenwu one.
Hell yeah.
Literally I'm gonna have to watch that. Literally one day ago. So again, another reason to subscribe because he's consistently making. He hasn't stopped.
Yeah, I mean, up till recently, he was just doing like, I'm gonna do a Let's Play of 11 because I haven't messed around with it in a while.
Right, challenge mode for the first time here. Challenge modes and stuff.
So you know what? Actually, let's backpedal a little bit. I think this is actually a really good question that Kitty poses at us.
Okay.
How would we polish the USA team to fit in the modern day and age? Because they definitely need some updates.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't try to take away their culture. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to whitewash like Lucky Glauber or something like that, right? So, for me...
You give him Tim's.
No. No.
Actually, kinda. I kind of want that DLC now. Make him straight up New Yorker.
I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, that's what you want to do, is you want to make it so that they're, like, I don't know, like, almost like you want to, like, you don't want to give them the swagger of a
But you like, lean into it, because, like, he definitely had, like, kind of a Fresh Prince
aesthetic.
Uh-huh.
And actually, that would even be a funny way to kind of continue the parody aspect of it if you just made him clearly a Fresh Prince fan. like he's just a huge fan of his, and he just like tries to like and like if people call him out being stuck on 90s hip hop culture kind of thing, you know, like that would actually be kind of a little more. But the thing about it is, if you make it so that his fandom of 90s hip hop culture is extremely knowledged and accurate, you know, that's the whole thing. So the whole concept.
He just brings out a Yo MTV Raps t-shirt.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? Like, it's very easy to make a parody or to satirize something if it's based in knowledge. You know what I mean? So, like, one of the things that, you know, people have asked me before is, you know, Uncle Roger, right? Uncle Roger, who cooks the fried rice and and all this stuff like.
I hadn't thought about it. Yeah, okay.
Dude, like, he's hilarious, and I love this guy, right? He's amazing. And people have actually said to me, like, but isn't he racist? Isn't he a stereotype because he speaks in a bad Chinese accent and all this stuff like this? But the thing about it is, in all of his videos, he's the authority. He's the one telling them that you fucked up that rice. You know what I mean? Like, how can you do this and everything? And all of his jokes and all of his humor is based off of something that all Asian people grew up with. You know what I mean? When he makes the jokes, we get it. And he's not making fun of the Asian. He's using it to be relatable and have that kind of humor.
It's in the same vein as the best humor always comes from self-deprecation.
Right, exactly. So, you know, when he makes those kind of jokes, when he speaks in the language, it's less of a, I'm making fun of it, but more of a, this is what we grew up with, this is what we're familiar with. You know what I mean? And that's what makes it funny. If they can pull off that, with, for example, Lucky Glober being a big, huge 90, like, he's stuck in the past. Like, he's just obsessed with, like, if he came out and was, like, one of those people that was, like, you know, you always see on Facebook, those, like, this is modern rap compared to old school rap. Like, if he was one of those guys and was just really into, like, Tupac and Biggie and just, like, would shit on modern hip-hop all the time, and he's just, like, and Will Smith is his absolute hero and stuff, like, I think that would be a really funny way to do it. And see, like, for example, the William Hung comparison is they put him in the American Idol to make fun of how awkward he is, right? That's the whole thing, is Uncle Roger is literally watching videos of people making fried rice and just shitting on them, like, constantly. And it's hilarious because, like, if you're a person who, like me, who has made fried rice, and you know you make fried rice only with day-old rice. You don't cook rice on that day and fry rice like you, and like, so he'll watch these videos and they make the rice fresh, and then he's like, hey, you can't do it, like, why you make fry? And then, like, where's the MSG? You must add MSG.
Okay, really, you must add the MSG.
Yeah, and you know, stuff like that. Like, as an Asian person, like, he's making fun of everybody else. He's not the one that you're supposed to laugh at. You know what I mean? And that's the difference.
It's like you're supposed to laugh with him.
Yeah, yeah. And so when I watch those Uncle Roger videos, like, I love them. And the funny thing is, like, he doesn't even have that accent or anything. He just grew up with it, so he knows how to imitate it really well. He's, like, hilarious. But see, that's the thing, the cheese. I really honestly think that they can bring back Lucky Glober in a way that's not,
well, I mean,
like, stereotype racist kind
honestly,
of thing.
Honestly, at this point, they have enough Americans on the staff.
It's true too. It's true, and in fact, it would, I think, be a really endearing way. So one of my arguments, and again,
okay, I do kind of have to agree with you.
The Rick Stroud thing, yeah.
But I've already accepted that I'm never going to be rid of Vanessa long enough to have Rick.
Right.
So, but yes, I agree. I want Rick back.
Like, for me, I know we're going off on the weeds here and everything, but which is what we typically do here. But like
the tall grass in Pokemon, yeah. Yeah.
One of the things that I always said, like, for example, when they did. God, see, when you set me up like that, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it that way.
We'll let it happen later.
Okay,
let it come naturally.
Okay. But, like, you know, I've always said, like, for example, Iron Fist should have been Asian, when they did the Netflix series. They should have just made him Asian again, right? Because to me, that would be a nice way for them to acknowledge the racism that Iron Fist inherently encompasses from when he was created.
A walking pile of colonialism.
Yeah, basically. And like, he was created because Kung Fu was popular in the 70s, you know, because of Bruce Lee and everything. But they're like, Asian people can't sell comics. So instead, we'll make it this white kid who gets lost in here and becomes the best student of Kunlun, you know, and now...
I mean, why not? Batman did it.
Exactly, right? I mean, it's the freaking Tom Cruise is the Last Samurai shit, right? You know? And like, that kind of thing was where Iron Fist came from. And so if they actually in this in the Netflix MCU, right, or I guess it would be Marvel Netflix universe, the MNU,
in the redacted universe.
Yeah, unfortunately it's gone. If they just turned him Asian, and someone was like, "Oh, but in his original storyline, he has no connection with Asian culture." I'm like, "Motherfucker, I don't have any connection with Asian culture, dude. Like, come on, dude. Like, it's not hard to do this, right?" Like, if they were able to take that stereotype from then and bring it back and reel it back and kind of show that they understand it now, I actually think that would be really cool. I would love if they had just changed him to be Asian instead, and instead of make him Danny Rand, make him Danny Ren. You know, like, I think that would.
Oh, you think any American's gonna pronounce that right?
No, they're not. But that's why it would be beautiful, because everyone always picks Chinese characters with the last name of Li and Fong because it's easy to pronounce, right? If you actually went so. I feel like they could do the same thing with Lucky Glauber, is my whole point. I feel like if they brought him back, but instead of like trying to be like, oh, okay, well...
Don't necessarily modernize him.
Right. Don't remove the fact that he's black. Like, embrace it, respect it, and make him... And in fact, like I said, you can keep a lot of the humor factor in him as well.
See, now you had to remind me about a white guy Tio.
Oh shit, that's right. Kusanagi, you know, the guy who's guarding the sacred treasure.
Just fucking name him Ken Jones at that point.
Yeah, Jesus. I know, right? But if you made it so that, like I said, you can keep the humor too, because there's actually a lot of people out there who are the whole, you know, like, modern rap sucks. Like, what is rap today? It's just...
It's not even just rap. Like, you really want to delve into it's the hip-hop element.
The hip-hop culture, right. Yeah. Exactly. And so, like, if Lucky Glauber was like that, and, like, let's say a lot of his lines referenced Tupac and Biggie, kind of, you know...
or just Carlton.
Or Carlton.
I'm really leaning into the Fresh Prince.
The Will Smith Fresh Prince thing. Like, honestly, it would be really cool if they could figure out a way to do that. And by the way, if you guys do have HBO Max and you haven't watched the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion thing, please watch that shit, dude. That thing. Oh my! I hadn't cried that much in like forever, dude. Oh,
I'm still not at the point where I'm prepared to watch it. So.
Because, like, seriously, one, I didn't know about a lot of the shit that happened on that show. And two, you know, when I watched that show, you know, it's interesting. Watching that reunion show made me realize how much that show actually did help me combat a lot of my own subconscious racism towards black people, you know what I mean? Because I mean, look, I'm Chinese, right? Like, you grow up, your entire earlier generation's gonna be kind of racist. Like, that's just how it is, right? And so you kind of learn a little bit of that, unfortunately. But, you know, through time, you kind of combat that kind of things. And really, honestly, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was a big part of that, I think. So it's really, really cool. So, but yeah. Freaking KO. I mean,
yeah. No, I mean, that's the thing. So, I mean, kind of piggybacking off of that with KOF 15 kind of embracing the 90s design, KOF has always had this kind of magic of this is clearly 90s, but kind of still aging really well.
Yeah.
And like the characters that don't get more updated. Mm-hmm. Like Yuri's original design, it looks a little silly now. You know, so they just give him new clothing that same character would wear.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Didn't they do that to Tekken as well? Oh no, Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball had the white Goku, right?
Oh Jesus, yes.
Dragon Ball had the white Goku and stuff, and then you make a movie the first movie that ever has Jackie Chan and Jet Li in it, and it stars a white kid, you know. So it's just like, come on, guys.
Well, at least Jackie Chan played himself in Tekken. So
was he in the Tekken movie? Jackie Chan
as the character based on him.
He played Lei. Oh Jesus, I didn't even know he was in that movie. Oh my God. I mean, freaking! I'm still mad that Jet Li didn't get to a romantic relationship with Alia in Romeo Must Die, dude. Like they just completely glossed over that one because they were like, nope, Asian guy can't get the girl. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. Ugh. Can we watch the Orochi lore video? I mean, it's long. I don't want to play somebody else's content on my stream.
At least like whenever we can help it, and not without express permission.
Right,
first.
Danny,
like Danny did. We talked to him well in advance. So.
We talked to him, and he gave us a brand new edit of his video.
So it's a little different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, we're just saying like you guys go check this guy out. Go watch some stuff.
Again, let me make sure his name is on the screen as well. ShoryuGame. But yeah, sorry, I'm getting into the whole mad about Asian representation in media again because, oh boy, it's a sore subject for me.
So anyways, so lucky we lean into the 90s subculture as much as possible. Okay.
Now, what Heavy D?
Heavy D.
What is his ethnicity?
He appears to be black.
What I think would be cool about Heavy D is they, like, I don't know if this counts as a retcon because I don't know if his ethnicity is really known. But if they make that whole team from New York, right? Make him Dominican.
I was gonna go into that same thing. Yeah.
Give him or Dominican or Puerto Rican. Either one of those two, because both of those have a very strong culture in New York. And I think that would be really sick.
If they just make it like a straight New York team, make some adjustments, I'd be on board with that. Oh yeah, Yuri murdered them.
Yeah, no, I mean, because that's what a lot of the people, even in the FGC, like making him Dominican would actually represent so many people in the FGC. Like, yikes!
Well, I mean, fuck it, make that what the D stands for.
Yeah, all right. There you go.
Boom, we're geniuses.
Yeah, so he was heavy Dominican the whole time, right?
Because he a big mother.
Yeah. So honestly, like I think that would be a really awesome. Like if all of a sudden they really dug into making him Dominican and having like maybe adding some of his family a little bit into there and everything like that. And, you know, even with Brian Badler, like you said, have them all grow up in New York and everything like that. Brian Badler might even be an interesting one, too.
Yeah, because I feel like he'd be the most overhauled. Right. He would need the most adjustment.
Because Brian Badler, so he's just big, tall, white football player, dude, right?
Yeah, he's hyper generic.
Right. And so what would actually be interesting is, what if they started exploring the lore that Brian Badler was kind of a rich white kid who was kind of racist, but learned better because of because of Heavy D, becoming friends with Heavy D and Lucky, and becoming more aware and kind of stuff like that. And
maybe like I don't want to go maybe that far, but maybe like has racist parents, but then they moved to New York, so he had to adjust.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Exactly. He grew up in the culture, and so you know. He is kind of like the avatar for people coming in and seeing Lucky. Helicopter American.
No, the fanfic is getting out of control.
Oh, okay. But
even like
I still like a Helicopter American because if he was moved like Helicopter Kids, but he's literally a helicopter, right? Yeah. No, but like that would actually be neat because like if he came in there and he said stuff like, "Oh, my original impression of Lucky Glober and Heavy D kind of references the original stereotype racism that they existed in the original games, but now all of a sudden he's like, but you know, you guys helped me learn and all this other stuff, and now they're fleshed out." Like I think that would actually be a really cool kind of way to do that
and bring them into like a modern time.
And you know, of course, a lot of people would get mad because you're bringing politics into our video games, man. But you know, fuck you, politics is in all of media, so...
Yeah, you're not allowed to complain about politics in video games if you like Metal Gear. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, the only reason why a lot of people don't get it in Metal Gear is because it's so goddamn confusing and like...
Except for the fact that it's also really obvious that you're playing military guy in a military environment doing things that might shape the world. That's definitely not political. No.
Just makes me think of the guy who got mad at the lead singer of Rage Against the Machine. Stop doing politics. Go back to just making music. Rage Against the Machine. He has a whole song called... Oh, God. I was so mad. I was like, come on.
Yeah, Critzelid being Irish has always been amusing to me. But then it's like... Yeah, a bunch of other characters don't have nationalities. A bunch of other characters don't have last names. And a bunch of characters aren't even real people.
Yeah. But actually, God, see, I mean, this is...
This whip isn't real people.
Fucking hire me to write video game movies, I swear to God. Like, I always wanted to do that, because I had my own Castlevania story.
Mm-hmm. And you would have gotten cease and desisted, too.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, if I could do it officially, you know what I mean? Like, I have my own Silent Hill movie that I've written. I have my own Metroid movie that I've written and all this stuff, because I want to respect the lore and like, really cut... Dude, like...
Metroid would be great. There'd be no dialogue.
Yeah. You know what the funniest thing about that is? That's not that far off of where... Because there's a very famous auteur director who did, like, Last of the Mohicans and The Tree of Life and all these things, named Terrence Malick. Mm-hmm. And I was talking about... So my brother is a big into movies. And he said that Terrence Malick likes to make movies about characters going to a foreign land and just exploring the flora and the fauna and like. And I was like, Metroid movie. And he's really good at action because The Last of the Mohicans has good action scenes. So like, I was just like, this would be perfect. Like, he would be perfect just to have her be able to explore, you know, the world that they're in and then have action scenes, dude. Like, seriously, I think that would be awesome. And then, of course, you'd have to get David Lynch to make a Silent Hill movie, except it would probably be too weird.
I mean, I've also considered, like, John Carpenter or Cronenberg for Silent Hill.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how much you know about David Lynch. He's the guy who makes Twin Peaks. Mm-hmm. And, fucking hell, dude.
No, you know what, now? Who do we who do we have in charge of a Metal Slug movie? Because we've got aliens and stupid bullshit. You've got tentacle monsters, and then you got military dudes and tanks.
I mean, it sounds like the easy answer is Ridley Scott.
I mean, if Uwe Boll was allowed to make movies anymore.
God, freaking Uwe Boll, dude. Just as long as it's not Paul Worthless Shit Anderson, that's all I'm gonna say.
The thing is that, like, regardless of your opinion on him or not, I don't trust him to be funny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
Michael Bay, fuck! I'm actually on board for this.
For Metal Slug?
Yeah!
Oh, God.
The game's 90% explosions anyway.
Yeah, I guess so. It's just...
Fuck. It's gonna be funny, and it's gonna have a lot of explosions. And then it has aliens. He can't screw it up because these are just add aliens to it anyway.
Theo would definitely be played by
Fox.
No, not Megan Fox. It would probably they'd probably pick what's her name? Karen Gillan?
Maybe.
Yeah, because you know she's super hot redhead, and all they would do is just stare at her body the entire movie.
Oh yeah, you're gonna have like explosions, camera pan.
Yeah. Michael Bay is probably the only director that I dislike more than Zack Snyder. So,
I cannot agree with that. I can't agree with you. No.
Well, keep in mind that Michael Bay did Transformers.
Yes.
And Transformers
is near and dear to your heart. I get it.
Near and dear to my heart.
But this is Zack Snyder we're talking about.
So Transformers is my most hated movie in the world. I've talked about this many times. And as I have told the story when I saw the movie with my brother at the screener,
Cohen, you found a new level of rage, I understand.
Cohen messaged me the next day and was like, so what did you think of the movie? And I think I've talked about that, my explanation on this stream before, where I was basically like, if I cloned myself to make, with the budget of Michael Bay, to make any Transformers movie I wanted to, and my whole intent was to piss myself off, was to find every way to make me mad and offend me, I would not have done as good of a job as Michael Bay did. So, yeah, fuck Michael Bay.
Yeah, but again, like, I just feel like that one's like, you can't separate a personal attack from actually terrible.
Yeah, but Bumblebee was not done by Michael Bay. That's the thing. Bumblebee was actually done by somebody else, so that's the big difference. So,
Truck Nuts Devastator.
Yeah, and then of course, as Mike Ross said in the Dogface show, when Dogface asked him the question, who would be a better leader, Barack Obama or Optimus Prime? And Mike Ross's answer was, I would have to pick Barack Obama because Optimus Prime let the only black robot die. So, you know, Michael Bay is about as racist as possible. So, you know, yeah. I don't like either of them. Okay? Yeah. I mean, that whole scene where all the Autobots introduced themselves, like someone had joked that it should have been like, "Hi, I'm the black robot. I'm the old robot. I'm the," you know, like that's literally what it is, dude.
Oh man, you remember VG Cats, and they used to have ones like with product placement jokes and shit about Transformers?
Oh, did they? Oh, jeez. Oh man. Yeah, I just, God. Transformers offends me on such a level of just absolute rage.
Well, I mean, the thing is that I have to give you credit because you're still a braver man than I.
Because
I didn't watch the KOF movie.
Oh, right. Yeah,
I couldn't.
Yeah.
I have not yet been able to bring myself to do it.
Mm-hmm. I even said to Cone the day before going to see it, and I said this to my brother too while we were driving up to go watch it, and I was like, if this movie contains a conversation between two of the robots for longer than 5 lines, I will give this movie that much more credit instantly. And I was right. I walked in there. If you do like a robot Bechdel test to that thing,
of course,
like robots don't talk to each other at all.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Optimus Prime is in the stupid street with the house, and Spike is telling him to be quiet because people are showing up, and he's fucking stepping on fountains and shit. Motherfucker, he's a robot in disguise. He transforms into a fucking truck. That is the whole point of goddamn Transformers, is they're fucking robots in disguise, and he's fumbling around. Fucking hell, dude. Oh my god. Oh.
Welcome to the SNK stream where we talk about James's rage with robots and Transformers.
Fucking hell, dude. Jesus Christ. They're fucking robots in this. Okay.
But yeah, actually, what is the name of that test? The
Bechdel test.
Yeah. Of, you know, the women can't have a conversation involving men and whatever. You run it for the equivalent of robots. And the thing is, that's not even a Michael Bay exclusive problem. Okay, that has been one for a long time. Is so many of these movies of Foreign Entity, the series, Foreign Entity, the movie. I don't need 50 humans that I don't care about that you're trying to attach me to.
Right, exactly. And that's all I said, because like
seriously, like you let these people make a Metal Slug movie, you're going to get the one cute little Mars people that all the kids are supposed to get along with and become attached to, so that they can sell toys of the new Baby Yoda.
Right,
no.
Yep.
Just let me have my fucking movie.
And that's the thing, right? Like, oh god. I'm trying not. People have always wanted me to do my uncensored rant on Transformers, and like
nobody has that time.
Seriously, I mean that movie.
How are you gonna get an uncensored 12-hour rant?
Yeah, that movie was so long, and I said I can complain about that movie way longer than that movie
you're gonna pull the Red Letter Media where your review is 3 times longer than the original footage.
Yep. Exactly.
Anyways, I'm gonna answer the question. No, I am not excited for the new Turtles game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't care.
How come?
So in general, I'm not partial to beat 'em ups. Just in general. I haven't physically been capable of caring about the Ninja Turtles in about 15 years.
Okay.
And there are only so many times I can play the exact same game before I'm tired of it getting re-released.
Right.
And the fact is, 90% of these beat-em-ups are just reskinned the same game. This game's going to play exactly like Scott Pilgrim, which the same company made.
Okay.
And as someone who really likes Scott Pilgrim, I couldn't have given a shit less about that game.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. This is the same company that did Streets of Rage 4 too. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because beat 'em up games are kind of tough right now. Like you really got to find a creative way to make them play really, really well.
That's how I've always felt about them. That's why my favorite to this day is still Alien vs Predator, because you can do things.
Oh God! When
Instead
you
of just press punch again.
When you watch the high level, like I used to watch the videos of the guy who basically like was fucking breaking that game and just doing the stupid things in Alien vs Predator. I mean, that's why, even though I've barely played it, it's one of my favorite beat 'em ups. Because of the stuff that I've seen that guy do. And it was, oh yeah, that's true, Moonwalker did have dancing. That's true. And on the Genesis version, oh God, we always imitate the
Scott Pilgrim books are fantastic. And like were a huge learning experience for me, and it gave me a lot of things to self-reflect on. And I will always respect those books for that.
Yeah. The Moonwalker, the Genesis game, like you could hit the dance button, everything would dance, all the enemies would dance with you, and one of them were like birds sitting on perches, and then the birds would literally just like hold their wings out and go like so we used to always imitate the stupid birds dancing. Oh man, it was hilarious. But yeah, beat 'em up. I mean, Turtles in Time is one of my... I mean, not Turtles in Time. The original Ninja Turtles Konami arcade game.
The Quarter Muncher?
Yeah, was one of my brother's favorite games before Street Fighter came out. And this tells you how old we all are. When he went to the UCLA and would go to the arcade every day, Strider was the first game that he learned to play. Like really dedicated himself to learn to play was Strider. And then they took Strider away, and then he went to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and he could beat the game in 3 credits. Like, because the game would just get impossibly hard. That's just how it in general worked. But he could, you had, like, it had to be a specific pattern. It had to be Donatello, then it had to be a Leonardo, then it had to be Raphael in order to be able to beat the game in 3 credits. And that's basically how he did it. And then Turtles in Time is an awesome game. So those two are like some of the best games ever. So, and then also X-Men, the Konami game, is really freaking great too. So
it's really cool that it exists, and I like looking at it, and I like playing it every so often. I will not say it's one of the greatest blank of all time.
Which one?
Any of those.
Really?
Really.
Okay.
Now, and again, like, so when I was a kid, I loved those games because I was a little kid and I liked reaching up and pressing buttons and seeing cool shit happen.
Right, yeah.
Once I had an opinion of my own, then that stopped being the case.
Colossus. Streets of Rage 2 is...
Dragon's Crown is fucking godlike.
I never played that game, you know?
I definitely own 2 copies of it. The PS3 and the PS4 re-release.
I feel like I own a copy of it. I just never played it.
That game is fucking rad.
Yeah.
But the thing is, having like RPG elements helps, and having it being like zones to enter rather than just one slick playthrough of quarter munching, I think helps it a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah. No, I got rid of my Vita before like I worried about buying it or anything. So I just have the PS3 and PS4 versions.
Yeah, Streets of Rage 2 is still one of the better beat 'em up games.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I love Capcom and, you know, and Street Fighter lore and everything, Streets of Rage 2 greater than Final Fight. Like, I mean, I think that's not even a question. Like,
okay, so the thing is that also, as me who doesn't like beat 'em ups in general, one of my favorite, like, obscure games no one talks about is a beat 'em up.
Which one?
Cyborg Justice for the Genesis.
Oh, God.
And admittedly, that's not even like that good of a game.
You know what the funniest thing is? I remember the box because my parents had it at their video store to rent, but I don't remember what the game looks like.
So it's one of those things, like, it's not even the best game ever or anything like that. It's an interesting beat 'em up. It has bullshit platform jumping, But one of the things is that you can rip off other robots' body parts to replace your own and upgrade yourself. And so you start basically customizing yourself as you play the game. Cool. It's pretty rad.
That's cool. Yeah. No, for me, I mean, my favorite, if I had to name the pinnacle of beat 'em ups, might be Alien vs. Predator, even though I barely played it. Yep, that's the one. Yeah. My parents definitely
and that, by the way, that game had some terrible magazine promotional art. Because it was like that same, like that super extreme Genesis paint job stuff.
Right, yeah.
And so it was like a human face and like his neck was contorting into the robot body with the saw arm. It was like, what the fuck is going on here?
That actually makes me sad too, because I haven't played River City Girls and I haven't played Streets of Rage 4.
I have not either.
Yeah, but Streets of Rage 4, I mean, is a tough one.
And also, I'm always going to love Double Dragon Neon just because of the soundtrack. That's it.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
Anyways.
So River City Girls, I definitely want to play more than Streets of Rage 4. I'm always worried about the other company coming in and taking over a franchise, which is what River City Girls is kind of in a way, but like also like doing the whole, like, I remember there was also the River City Underground project that came out, and it was like, now the characters are older, and da-da-da, and I don't know, like, I'm just...
Okay, so this is a conversation I really wish Buttons was in here for. He fucking loves beat-em-ups, except for most of them, because most of them don't, like, hit the standard. So, like, he has a really strict definition on them, and he'll still talk about, like, defending a lot of the River City games.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think River City Ransom, the original River City Ransom, is one of my favorite NES games. The amount of joy and pure, just absolute cackling laughter that my brother and I had playing that game together will be unparalleled for all time.
Yeah, so Scorch, on that topic, I'm really surprised we didn't get Terry today. For exactly that reason.
Right. They might be, that's probably why that they, maybe
yeah, just push him back and just like, happy birthday, you get to exist now.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. River City Girls, even though the art style is different, they even like when you punch them back and they do the whole reeling animation, like they even copied that, you know, and it's kind of neat. I mean, all the throwbacks that they have in River City Girls.
I think I'm actually at the point now where I think my condition for whether I'm going to even think a beat 'em up has a chance of being good is, can you make a combo video? Because that's what I've learned is all the beat 'em ups over the past few years that anyone has said anything good about are the ones that actually have their own combo videos as well.
Right, like Streets of Rage 4.
Streets of Rage 4, River City Girls.
What about God of War?
That's different kind of beat 'em up.
Right, because
that's the spectacle brawler, hit the controller square with your face and you're fine.
Because Magnetro 2K, who made the MVC2 videos, actually made God of War combo videos. And I was the one who got him on to God of War because he was just talking about that. I was like, dude, you should play this because it's really good and it's made by FGC people. And then he played it and was like, this is really good. And him and Madge teamed up to make videos and stuff. And they're really sick. They're really crazy.
Wait, what did I miss here?
What is going on?
I mean, Rock is not a child anymore. So that's... I'm just kind of catching up on chat since we have gone way the fuck off the rails.
I saw Elevator Action Returns. So the original Elevator Action is one of my favorite games of all time. That was one of the ones that I grew up on. That was one of my arcade quarter muncher games that I played when I told the stories of me being in my parents' restaurant and walking across the street to the mall and stuff. I love Elevator Action Returns, dude. That game is amazing. That game is really amazing for a sequel updated kind of thing. So, Devil May Cry definitely counts as well. I mean, those are 3D beat 'em ups.
Yeah, basically. So I mean, that's the thing. Like, there's like kind of the 2D beat 'em ups, like traditional Streets of Rage kind of thing, and then there's like the evolution, which went into the spectacle brawler, Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, God of War.
That's a good question though about Rock. How old was he supposed to be in 14? And was he canon in 14?
I mean, the thing is, the DLC characters are all kind of questionable if they're canon or not, but it does establish that that's what they should be, I guess. Okay. So Rock, but even so, like, even if he's non-canon because he's not in an entry, that doesn't mean that he's still a fucking 8-year-old that he's been for 20 years now. Like, I think that implies that he's going to be the correct age now. Because remember, he was in Terry's win pose in 02.
Okay. Oh, okay. Lap Chi jumping in here saying he played elevator action till 7 p.m. once when he was like 12 and got the biggest shit from his... Dude, that game was so good. To this day, even me and my brother, like, we will never forget the opening of that, where it's just like... Doom, 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 like, I will never forget Elevator. That game is burned in my brain forever.
Okay, so let's put it this way. If Rock suddenly goes back to being 8 years old, oh my god.
Oh, Jesus. What the heck? Oh, there we go.
If Rock suddenly goes back to being an 8-year-old after appearing in 14, that will immediately delete him from me ever giving a shit about him ever again. Period.
Shoutouts to Lap Chi, Sigma Nuts, Cat Butts, to Lap Chi for the gift subs. 10 gift subs.
But here's the thing, is that in all fairness, 90% of the cast of KOF is not relevant to its canon. Like, it's just how it is.
Sounds good.
So, it kind of reminds me of something I was going to try to segue into earlier. It's thinking about the number of teams in KOF that are actually relevant to the plot.
Okay, hang on one second. I just want to
You
say...
have to do your thing.
Sigma Nuts, Cat Butts, to K-Town Kid, to Jar2388, to Arcade Robot, Sigma Nuts, Cat Butts, also to Ryo Ayanami, Death by Poke 7, Fleet of Foot, Adwork, Lil Creepy Sleepy, Tito Afric, and Ayo11. Shoutouts to Lachi once again. Thank you very much.
And we've definitely covered the KOF and Garo timelines.
I think you might try out making some Celeste fanfic. I don't know if there's any... So Celeste is one of those games that you play and you're like, oh, okay. And then you find out the story is amazing in the game. The story is amazing. And I don't really have... There's really no room for fanfic in that one. The story is...
Tell that to the rest of the internet. They'll find a way.
I guess that's true.
Anyways, KOF teams that are actually relevant to the canon.
KOF teams that are... Okay, so... like the canon teams, right? So,
yeah. So, like, you'd have to have, like, the Fatal Fury team, right, the Art of Fighting team,
I mean,
whatever.
now the Sacred Treasures team is real, obviously.
Yeah.
That one's...
Okay, so now the fun thing is that when you take away all the characters that are just KOF characters, they're not from other games or anything like that.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure there's only 2 teams that have any relevance whatsoever.
Really? Characters, you said?
Teams. 2 teams.
2 teams.
2 teams have any relevance to the actual story. Yeah.
I'm going to say the Psycho Soldier team. Not the Psycho Soldier, the Ikari Warriors team.
Ikari Warriors is definitely relevant.
Because Leona Heidern are...
Okay, see, you're all naming characters and teams that are exclusively KOF.
Right.
Japan team is all KOF. Ash team is all KOF.
CYS.
CYS. They're all KOF teams.
Ikari Warrior teams is definitely one of them. And who would be the other one that's...
and the thing is, this is like a half. They get half credit.
Okay.
And it's really funny.
Okay. Which one?
Sports team.
Really?
Because they keep getting beat up and their invites taken, which changes the plot. And if it weren't for them, things would be entirely different. If it weren't for the sports team...
But wait, are they from another game?
They're all referencing early, like, 90s sports games on the MVS.
Oh,
they are actually built as representation. That's why they were in 94.
Oh, man. Okay.
But the thing is that even that's questionable whether it happened or not. Because the laser still fucking hit Southtown.
Did Southtown get destroyed?
Southtown got heavily damaged.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, no, Fatal Fury team is fucking worthless in terms of KOF canon. They don't do shit.
They just have their own canon going on.
There's like, hey, we were in it. Hey, we went home and drank. That's like Fatal Fury team's like actual plot.
But like even like the Psycho Soldier team doesn't have anything to do with the main
Not really,
plot.
no.
Okay.
Not really. They show up, but they don't change the endings. They don't change the actual course of events. They're just kind of there.
So wait, did Takuma actually deflect the laser, or?
I'm under the impression the laser still hit. Like, it's damaged. Even if he might have saved a few lives, maybe, but no, like, Southtown got hit.
Okay.
Yeah, but Ikari Warriors is super important.
Yeah.
Because, like, I mean, Hydern is more a KOF character, but Ralph and Clark have been on the team when they won the official entry tournament.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Because they won 03.
That's right. They won 03. But also Leona's super important to the plot, too.
Yeah.
And everything like that.
But she's also a KOF
character, right. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, yeah. I mean, even, Jagger, saying that I prefer making up stories for characters of mysterious backgrounds. I like fleshing out existing things that don't have, like, full stories kind of thing, you know what I mean? And doing it in a way that makes sense and is kind of respectful a little bit, so...
Or you could just read the rest of what Nintendo put out.
Oh, for Metroid, yeah, for sure.
For Metroid, like, Samus is covered.
Yeah, I mean, but even still, like, I even wrote my own backstory fanfic lore for Transformers because I was so mad at the Michael Bay movie that I wrote my
Have you ever been
own...
so angry you typed a report?
Yeah. Basically, because like I came up with this whole going back to Transformers, like this whole kind of like the war on Cybertron was generated because they were machines, and basically the idea was that there were two roles. There was the machines basically that didn't have bodies. They were computers. They came up with all the concepts of everything, right? And then there was the worker robots.
So it's the thinkers and the workers?
The thinkers and the workers, right? And so the thinkers were called the Concepticons. And the workers, who were the automation robots, were called the Autobots. And basically, because the Concepticons got too smart, they started reaping all the benefits, and the worker robots got nothing. Eventually, the worker robots got smart, and then the Concepticons started creating bodies for themselves so they could be more mobile, etc., blah, 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 blah. All that stuff, and then the Autobots eventually found out they were being unfairly treated. They kept calling them the Decepticons as a slur, to which the Concepticons actually enjoyed, and so they adopted it themselves, and that's kind of how the war... Like, I thought that would be really stupid cool. I think that would be really cool.
Really
dude.
stupid cool. See? Yeah.
Yeah, Like, I think that would actually be really cool, so...
Well, I mean, everyone in the Orochi was in disguise. Not everyone knew who they were.
Like, one of my favorite conversations that I would have written for the Transformers movie,
Swear to God, James.
Like, honestly, like, I would have loved if Spike actually said that Optimus Prime was like... Because Optimus Prime was like, we're at the war, and the Decepticons...
and now you're bringing up humans.
Yeah, but, I mean, Spike has to be in it, right?
No.
Because that's part of the Transformers lore, but... he wouldn't be the focus of it, right? He would be there to be the avatar for the... But, like, one of my conversations...
I mean, give it time. KOF All-Star is going to have Transformers in it.
Yeah.
If they got the WWE, like...
Oh, that's right. They got the WWE.
Dude, on my Twitter question, people were like, Undertaker and John Cena. They appeared in a KOF.
And you can't even really argue with that, right?
Oh, I can.
No, I really wanted that conversation. I just want Spike to ask Optimus Prime, after Optimus Prime explains the story of what everything's going on, is Spike just to ask him, how do I know you're the good guys?
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted Optimus Prime to respond, I don't know if we are anymore. We've been fighting this war for so long now, I can't even really tell. And like, what a sick... deep conversation, like what a great way to like.
But see, now you're thinking in
Yeah,
a Transformers
exactly.
movie as an American.
Right.
The fuck are you doing?
But that would just be such a sick conversation. Anyways, yeah. Anyways, Transformers and KOF win, so there you go. It would have to be the mini bots, right? So.
Honestly, I can just now imagine Terry being like, "Hey, Bumblebee, let's go."
Right. No, they would have to do the GoBots then. Ride freaking Scooter.
Yes. God, and their stupid faces on the front of everything.
God, I
Oh,
fucking
man.
hated the faces on the... Oh, God. And Scooter was supposed to be that cute alien that everyone,
Hideous.
Oh, God, I hated Scooter in that.
Dude, that's the thing. So, like, I'm in that age bracket where I'm old enough to actually have watched the GoBots when I was a kid. And still have no friends who had any idea what I was talking about.
Optimus. Dude, that would be so sick. Make Terry drive Optimus Prime, dude. Come on, dude. He's a trucker.
Wait. Isn't there one of the KOF the hit the truck stop in the middle of like New Mexico and just have Optimus Prime parked on the side of the road?
Dude, that'd be so sick.
Because Fatal Fury has all sorts of times like they have a stage like that. Perfect.
Yeah, that's funny.
I really wish KK was in the chat right now. He would be laughing so much.
I just want one of those toy tie-ins now that when you buy Optimus Primes, it comes with the Terry figure, you know, and like...
No. Do not put this evil on us. Because you know what's going to happen is you're going to get a Terry Bogard Transformer where he starts as Terry and then he turns into a motorcycle.
Optimus Prime, he's a truck
that's
driver.
not how this shit works.
He's a truck driver.
Every single time, it's an action figure of your character that turns into arbitrary vehicle. And I hate every single one of them.
It's true. It's
Beast
so true.
Wars was just the natural progression from that garbage.
Right. Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
So, speaking of collectibles...
Terry Transformer that changes into Lady Terry.
I remember we've been talking a lot about some of the stuff that's been coming out with Funiverse having the SNK license to do all the freaking things.
Yeah.
So,
ooh, that reminds me. I need to talk to you about something, but after the stream is done, because it's something else. But it just reminded me.
Okay.
Just remind me after the stream is done to talk to you about something.
After the stream is done, you need to talk to me about something.
All right, cool. Let me know
Perfect.
when the stream is done.
Got you.
Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, as long as Geese turns into a goose, that's fair.
I should wear my Goose Howard shirt on stream. That's the closest thing that I have to a SNK shirt, I think.
We need to fix that.
Yeah.
That's a good shirt, though.
Yeah.
I need to wear mine, too. I need to find mine. Because I definitely wore it at Hyperdrive last year.
Oh.
And more than anything else on the stream, like, that was what happened. It's like, where's that shirt from?
Goose Howard shirt.
Oh, yeah, and Mecha Ganitz in All-Star. Oh, God. So anyways, a bunch of the other statues and stuff have been going up for pre-order slowly but surely, including that 1/4 scale Mary, which is definitely very pricey and very much depends on where you're living in the world, depends on how much it costs. Mm-hmm. And apparently they're only making 300 of them. And it's brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary. Honk. Predictable.
This came out, of course, after Untitled Goose Game came out. So, but this designed by Irene Co, aka Coquette. Great, one of my just great artwork here. I love this. Hi.
Who also, I believe, is going to be using Twitter less and less because Twitter is becoming a cesspool more and more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Man. But she's been playing a lot of Guilty Gear recently, so...
Well, I mean, I would like to be. Mm-hmm. But the new one's not out yet.
Yeah, but to be fair...
And I have no interest
to be
in
fair,
back to
because
art.
she's married to Pat the Flip, I'm sure she doesn't like Strive as much either.
Or maybe she likes it more because now she has a head start on beating Pat.
Oh, man. Twitter. Yeah. What the secret? Twitter's always been a cesspool.
Wait, it's all garbage? Wait,
Yeah.
it's all garbage? Always has been.
Pretty much, dude. Okay, anyways. Yeah, that Mary figure. Which company is making it?
So it's actually made by Epoch Studio again, but Epoch, if you will, EPOCH.
What the hell is this?
Some not Pixar movie called Epic, apparently.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yep, that's the one.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah. So, pre-orders are up for her, and it's gigantic.
Yeah, you said it's a 1/4 scale? 1/4 scale Blue Mary?
Gigantic.
That is absolutely crazy, dude.
Yeah, the counting the post and everything, it's like almost 1.5 feet tall.
Jesus. Let's see here.
Yeah, and that's not even one that I would order from in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's one of the... Nope, no Anton, because Anton doesn't even fucking exist in 14.
Who's Anton?
Her dog.
Oh.
Her dog does not appear in 14. Which is, again, one of the many things I have on the giant list of problems I have with 14 Mary.
The Anton disappeared.
Yeah, there's no Anton. Where's her pupper? Did they not want to confuse people when they introduced Antonov as the boss? Like, come on.
Yeah, but definitely a nice statue here.
Yeah.
This one's only 100. Oh, for the pre-order, it's 150. Yeah. So there you go.
Also, that's one of the sites that's sold out.
Right, I see that for sure, out of stock. So, yeah. But as a Blue Mary fan, you don't really have much of a choice, do you?
No. My credit card stared at me like I'm an asshole. So I just have to now hope that that everything goes well, and that there's no weird stuff going on, no shady business, nothing like that, and I will eventually have that as part of my giant collection.
Yeah. Oh man. That's a hard one, dude, because like the problem is if they're only making 300.
Yeah, I can't, because
if you don't get it now, it'll be $3,000 in a year.
It'll be way more than that later if I find it. I mean, look, I spent 20 years hunting down the other one. I don't think her design in 14 is garbo, but it definitely has issues, and definitely doesn't hold up to her previous design for the most part. I don't know. Maybe instead of actually making this giant YouTube video, I'll just give it like my thesis on the stream sometime about all the issues I have with 14 Mary.
Hang on, Jasmine, come here. You have.
I will defend the
giant
white trim on her top, though.
Come here. You have this big ball of hair stuck to your mouth.
I'll take another photo of it and post it later. Or maybe I'll just take a good photo and then we'll show it on the stream next week. Yeah. Probably be easier.
Oh, the Mary Shrine. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. I don't even have.
I'm almost about to outgrow that shelf. I'm pretty excited.
I wonder, I just don't have room. I mean, I do have room, but I just don't have. I've never put up a Cami shrine. I've never put up.
Kitty's like, do a PowerPoint.
PowerPoint on Mary.
Okay, sure, yes, absolutely. Stop making her this anime cloth dragging waif and give her back her muscle.
Yeah, that's one of the most annoying things about the way they design a lot of these characters. Is some of these characters, most of these fighting game characters need to be freaking fit. You know?
No, it's actually one of the things I will say openly I like about Street Fighter V. They didn't pull punches on that.
Yeah,
they're like, you know what? These are world-class fighters who can throw Zangief across the room. She doesn't weigh 90 pounds.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, I used to always.
Thank you, Scorch. I knew I was forgetting something.
What's that?
King of Fighters for Girls getting discontinued.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That, I think, is a huge shame.
Yeah, that's a game that actually has been out already on mobile platforms.
Yep,
right?
It's mobile platforms in Japan and maybe part of Asia. I don't remember if it left Japan at all or not.
Okay.
It has its own. It had conventions and special events and shit running around. It's only been around for a year and a half. It's canceled. It ends at the end of the month.
I mean, one of the toughest things about those kind of mobile games is that you design them to last and to be a constant revenue stream, right?
In theory.
And if they don't make that money, it's hard to maintain them and keep them out. And that's what I'm guessing probably happened is it's just not making any money at this point.
I mean, the thing is that they didn't seem like they were updating it as much as they could have, but it's the dating sim where you can date all the guys in KOF. Including some very questionable decisions, like Bao is available as an option.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
But on the other hand, Yashiro looks hot to death. Maxima looks fucking amazing. K-Dash looks super frumpy and bitchy all the time, and I love it. I'm here for it.
Oh man.
I'm actually kind of bothered by the fact that how good Billy tends to look in it, because Billy's he's Billy.
Dang, Billy hater here, dude.
Billy is my favorite character that I would love to never fight again.
Oh.
I actually really like Billy.
You just hate fighting against him.
I can't stand fighting against him, and I can't stand playing as him.
There's no Xanadu, huh?
Dude, nobody wants to date Xanadu.
Come on. Xanadu.
Come on. No, Billy's a cool dude when he's working for Geese, too. It's just playing against him. And, like, Jump CD.
Just one of those things that you hate a character because of your experiences in-game against them.
If you ever have to play Vanilla 02 and fight a Billy, you will understand why there are people who fucking hate Billy.
Yeah.
His Jump CD is up there with Chris's 98 Jump CD. It's just, like, you can use that as 98% of your neutral, and it's fucking bullshit.
I mean, my original tournament character in Street Fighter 2 was Honda, and now I fucking hate that character to death because I've had to deal with him so much.
I was watching O2 tournament footage one time, and it was talking, and it had like written commentary on the side instead of like live commentary. It's like, you know, so now the bracket goes to this, whatever. The last round, it literally said, well, now both characters or both teams are on their last character. It's coming down to the wire, so you know what that means? Billy goddamn Kane, and it was a Billy mirror.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but I don't play 13, and most of 13's tier list is weird anyway. I mean, Kula's not even top tier. What kind of KOF is that? She's still pretty good. But, yeah. No, it never got released in America. And the thing is that, so I don't like KOF All-Star that much personally. Like, I think the game itself is fine, but I feel like it's a little too pay to win.
What's okay? Oh, that's right. The little mobile game.
The game itself is actually
the mobile
pretty
game
rad.
that David and I had a promotion for before one of our Tuesday shows. Yes.
I'm not too fond of it. It's a little too pay to win for me. But before that, I was actually obsessively playing Kimi wa Hero, which is another game that America didn't fucking get.
Was that the music game?
No. That one was Rhythm of Fighters, which I love.
Rhythm and Fighters. Okay.
I definitely played the shit out of Kimi wa Hero, and it had gacha game bullshit too. And then they stopped supporting it, and then 3 months later announced that they were stopping supporting it. So we're just going there for like 3 months without any updates, and they're like, "Yeah, sorry, the game we're canceling the game." And I was like, I put money into that game.
And that's the thing, right? I mean, what gacha games have to understand is that the way that you create a proper gacha game is that it has to be winnable without spending money. Like, you have to make it so that it works that way. It's just that spending money makes it a lot easier and more convenient, right?
Also, a lot of it being under control of Netmarble, that probably doesn't help, which is probably part of the reason why the game is still going and all the SNK ones are getting scrapped.
Right. Because the thing is, like, I still play Final Fantasy Record Keeper. And even though I can't beat a lot of the hardest things that other people can, I can still do a lot of stuff in the game already.
And you're still having fun.
And I'm still having fun. And the thing about it is, if you design a game that way, it's fine because there's enough people out there who are going to whale your game. And as long as you have that number of people out there, because that's the whole thing. Like I said, I mean, again, this is going way off the weeds, but the whole economic model of demand and supply and finding that master point in the middle is now so outdated. Like, in economics, it's important because you had to find the right price point because every place had to sell it for that price. Now that we have the internet and we have the ability to pay whatever the fuck we want for items, now that's why we have special editions and everything, when we've discovered why Kickstarter works. Because some people out there are like, I really want this. Here's $2,000 because I want this to happen, kind of thing. Because they just have the money out there. The price and supply and demand doesn't make sense anymore. And so for the gacha games, you have to make it so that you can do most of the stuff at no money. Because then,
or at least minimal.
Right, but then the whales out there are going to be the ones that are going to be paying for everything.
Yeah, and so, I mean, I always wonder if, like, a lot of the SNK mobile games that get canceled, if they might have done better if they had an international release. If they had ever gotten localized.
But see, that's what I mean, horseplay, is that, you're telling me that I've got it wrong. It can't be winnable without spending money. That's where I think that's the philosophy that hurts most of the gacha games, is that they think that's what they should do.
I don't mind being put behind the curve.
Right.
But the thing is, there are a lot of games out there that, you can earn everything. After 7 years, you might get the first thing.
Right. And like for FFRK, like they give shit away all the time. Teppen is kind of that
another
way.
one,
yeah, honestly. And but see, that's the thing, right? You make a game like that, and then you will get the whales anyway, right? Because like let's we definitely know some of them.
And I mean, honestly, I think there is a point where I think it's better to get, you know, like $1 or $2 out of everybody than to bank entirely on the whales.
Yeah.
Because if I can't play your game without kicking in money, I'm probably not going to continue playing your game.
Right. Yeah, and Hirokun, yeah, I agree with that. So obviously, because of the 30% App Store cut, forces heavy monetization. Right. But the thing is, I'm not saying don't monetize your game. You have to have gotchas and stuff like that all over the place so people can get... Because, like...
Yeah, give me opportunities to spend money when I want to.
Right.
Don't fuck me for not spending money.
Right. So, for example, I have friends who are whales in FFRK because they're just the biggest... Because Celis is their waifu. So they gotta... Every time Celis gets a new thing, they put in all the money just to pull for hers to make sure they get all of her cool stuff.
Where do you think I spent the first of my money in Kimi wa Hero?
Blue Mary stuff.
Huh, I wonder. Yeah, it was when Mary actually became available. I was like, I really need to put time in this game now.
And that's the thing is, so you put the monetization in the game, because then the people will spend the money on it if they like it. You know what I mean? That's the thing. So I eventually ended up spending money on FFRK for the first time a while ago because I was just like, I've been playing this game for like 4 years and I haven't spent
when you feel like you owe the company.
Yeah, I was like, I've got more enjoyment out of this game than most $60 games that I've bought. All right, fine, I'll spend some money on this game. And you know what? That's $30 that they wouldn't have gotten out otherwise. Right? Yeah. You know, like, honestly.
Yeah. No, and I was definitely a miniature whale in Kimi wa Hero, and I have put money into Teppen. I actually spent, I think, $20 on All-Star when it first came out. And when I saw where it was going, I was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Right, exactly. And had they not done that, you might have spent another $20. You've done that for Teppen. You've actually bought for like polls and stuff like that, right? So because the game doesn't force you into spending money to win that game.
No, it was definitely more than that range.
Play SNK music in the background. I mean,
at a later time. I think we'll wait then.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the whole thing, right? And it is a lot of it comes down to the whales, and I think that's why League of Legends works pretty well, right? You get a few heroes, but they give you enough to pick your favorite hero right away, right? They give you enough free in-game money that you can get one hero.
Yeah, and then the thing is, they have the benefit of the consistent rotation as well,
right?
Which is still like, if nothing else, I have to give League of Legends that. That's one of my favorite structures in any game ever.
Right.
Is you get this much out the gate, you get to pick one or two, everything else is on a rotation until you buy them. Oh, fuck yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind hearing the 11 version of Diet, because it's not even on the official soundtrack.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Which character is that?
Yuri.
That is Yuri?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in lieu of that, you can always put on the 98er range Diet, which is freaking hilarious.
What is it? So KOF, which one?
XI.
XI Diet.
There you go.
This one here?
That's the one. Oh, and with the good art. I love that artist, for the record. Solare.
Try to make sure it's not too loud. Here, let me know how the volume is compared to our voices. I want to make it...
That looks safe.
I just don't want it to drown us out, because you can see they're kind of equal.
Yeah.
Here. They're kind of equal.
I mean, can you...
I mean, if I lower it here, it lowers it on the speakers too.
Yeah. I don't need to be, like, drowned out by it. Or, I mean, I don't need to super hear everything.
Yeah, that should work a little bit better.
Yeah, no, I agree. The impermanence and moreover, like the lack of a guarantee of a time frame really hurts a lot of these games for me. You know, like getting burned at the end of a mobile game was like, hey, guess what? It's dying. You know, really makes you hesitant to play another one ever again.
Yeah. So it's sad to know that KOF Girls is getting canceled like that.
Yeah.
So.
But I guess they weren't making enough money to continue adding characters and campaigns or something, maybe. I don't know, but there's a lot of like really cool and cute merchandise for it. Some of it's still on pre-order that they haven't even started shipping yet.
Oh Jesus!
So like, can you imagine like you buy like a plushie and then you find out the game doesn't exist anymore? So like, well, at least I can wait for the plushie to arrive and have these fond memories.
I mean, it sucks for the company that makes those stuff too, right? You just discontinued that game that you had this deal with.
Well, I mean, it depends. I don't know how the licenses work. They might be fine.
No, that's one of the problems. Like Hirokun, I mean, he said he's a mobile developer, so he knows a lot of these things. And saying, you know, if a mobile game is not within the top 200 grossing games, don't expect it to be around for that long. It is a very, very tough business out there, and to be lucky enough to be one of those games to be able to do that.
Yeah, but I mean, again, though, I find it more surprising because they have the secondary market with the merch. You know, as Kitty's pointing out, they have Dakimakuras for the characters, the full body pillowcase stuff for the characters in the game.
Okay, well,
they look fantastic.
If I ever decide to make a mobile game, Hirokun, I'm gonna have to tap you for information then. Yeah, the mobile market sucks, dude. I mean, maybe you can answer me this question, because this has been bothering me for a long time now. But like, so I'll play some games, like a lot of puzzle games that I play will have mobile ads that pop up in between levels all the time. So I have to end up watching all these stupid mobile ads.
Ad revenue,
right?
Yes.
So here's the question that I have is, how is it that, and why is it that all these mobile games always showcase gameplay that doesn't exist in the game? And two...
Clickbait.
Right, clickbait, I understand that, but isn't there any legal precedence for false advertising on that? And secondly, I've also noticed multiple games will use the same ad with their own graphics.
Yep.
And I don't understand that either. Like,
Okay, first off, it's clickbait, yes.
Right.
Secondly, I'm not saying I know exactly, but I just want to point out that it's hard to sue someone for false advertising when you didn't pay anything.
Yeah.
Because all they're looking for is the free download, get the ad revenue, and then if you play it enough to want to spend money, you already know what you're getting out of the game.
Right.
If you had to buy the game under those pretenses, you probably have a case.
Right, yeah.
But since they're free games, it doesn't matter. So all it is did it get clicked because someone, and yeah.
Right.
Because what really shits me is that those games look fun.
Yeah.
Those games that don't exist look like they could be pretty fucking fun.
Right. And it's just
like the Homescapes ads and the fucking drag the key for Hero Wars or whatever.
Like those Homescape ads, like literally duplicated the ads from another game.
Yeah,
like
it's Hero Wars, whatever.
Or like some fishdom game or some shit like that. It's like it's the exact same thing, and it's so crazy.
10 times conversion rate on the shitty ads. God, not surprised.
It's wild, dude.
What I don't get is that like you can then have the interactive ads that are basically mini games that you can play the banner.
Yeah.
And it's like, you're wasting more dev time to make me play the game that doesn't exist? What the fuck?
It's so weird. I'm just trying to figure out like how it's legal. You know what I mean?
Because if you're not paying for it, you don't have a case.
Right. I guess that's just really what it is.
And I think it's just a banner ad.
Right.
I mean, most banner ads aren't illegal either.
Yeah, I guess it's true too. Oh man, it is a brutal industry out there, man.
And the thing is, though, is that but that's the thing is that in the EU that makes sense because there's also so many issues with privacy policies and cookies and all that shit. In America, nobody fucking cares. Hey, you figured out how to screw someone over to make money? Good on ya.
Right. I mean, we're the country that the thief who broke into the house and got locked in the garage sued the owners and won.
Yeah, and there's been a bunch of other cases and a bunch of other wives' tales of cases on top of that.
Right.
Because like I've heard the one where the dude fell through the roof and landed on a knife. That one's like a myth.
Oh,
but the garage one I think is true.
Yeah, the garage one I'm pretty sure.
But then you get the other way around of like the McDonald's woman with the coffee.
Oh yeah.
Has been turned into a meme so much that people don't realize how severe it was.
Right. Yeah.
Because they tried to downplay it. So it's like
Yep. Oh man. No, well, I mean, Leona we know was in the game.
We know Leona exists from the original reveal, but that's all we know about Ikari Warriors so far.
I mean, Ralph and Clark haven't not been in the KOF, right? They've been in every single one, if I'm not mistaken.
Pretty sure they have perfect attendance, except for like maybe Max Impact 1. Like,
who has perfect attendance in mainline KOF?
Okay,
games?
I don't have the numbers for this.
Okay.
But Terry, Athena, Ralph and Clark, Kyo.
So Terry has been in every single one then. Okay.
Benny, I believe. There's still like 2 or 3 that I'm missing.
Okay.
Oh, they're both in every MI game? K-Dash doesn't have perfect attendance because he was added in 99.
Right, I was about to say.
He has perfect attendance since he was created.
Right, yeah, I was about to say. He had
definitely. No, we're talking all the way 94 to 14.
That's right.
Yeah, Rio, Kim, Robert.
Okay. Oh, Kim has been in every single one of them then. Because even,
something about that feels wrong. Like, it feels right, but it feels wrong. What am I... Terry, Athena, Kyo, Rio, Benny, Ralph, Clark. But yeah, wasn't Kim missing from like 1 game or something?
Yeah, because Blue didn't mention Kim in his list. I feel like Kim was gone from 1 game. Yeah, I missed out KOF 12.
Yeah. Yeah, so 12's the one that screws up a lot of them. Yeah, I'd have to like dig up things or at least even look at the book I have. But yeah, Terry, Athena, Kyo, Rio, Benny, Ralph, Clark. Oh no, Diamond's definitely missed a few.
Because I didn't even know that, but you told me it's because he had a kid. And so he's like, I'm going to stay home and take care of my kid.
Yeah, but I don't count the PS2 version as being canonical for their entries.
Yeah, for sure.
Because also that means that, like, by that standard, you have to say Hotaru is officially in a KOF game. No. Geese was in 11. No. Also, we don't talk about Neowave. But Kim was in every main life. I don't know, for some reason, I just felt like he was missing from one of them. I don't know why.
Okay. But he definitely was not on the same team with Choi and Chang at some point, right?
Correct. I mean, 11. He's with Duck and Terry.
That's right. Duck and Terry.
Yeah, Neowave has Young Geese, which, of course, is something we all needed. Not really. Yeah.
I can't get over the way Yuri looks in this game. She looks too anime for me.
I'm fine with it.
Like I said, I'm going to have to go look at pictures of her in 14 to see how she looked in there, too. Yeah, but like I said, it's really interesting that they didn't really change her design much. Like, I would have thought that her leggings would have, like, more designs on them or fancier graphics, because...
I think she's just fallen into, like, the iconicness.
Right.
Nuts to Chaelim. I mean, she's literally Girl Kim. Like, I don't know. I don't dig like just having an arbitrary clone character.
Right. KOF 13. I mean, it's in terms of graphic style, I think KOF 13 probably does look the best out of all the games.
It looks better than most games, period.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure, but. I mean, I said this last week after the stream, you know, I was just like, I don't get why people are shitting on the graphics of this game so much, and a lot of people just keep bringing up 13 over and over and over again, and someone who responded to them was...
Don't mess with 13 fans.
Yeah, they were right about it, too. They basically said, they were like, but we're not getting 13 again. Like, it's too hard to make. It's not gonna happen. Stop holding everything up to this kind of standard kind of situation. And you know, they're absolutely right. We're not gonna get it again. We got it one time because they had started on it and they had to keep going with it, but it was so hard to do that 12 had to come out in the way that it did, you know, and it's
and I will take this visual style all day long for the fact that we can actually get more characters, more gameplay.
Yep.
We already have been told we're getting our rollback netcode. We are going to get a lot of advancements and everything else because they've had so much practice beforehand. Like, if I have to go back to sprites, fucking give me back like 99 sprite work. I don't need it to look like 13. Just make it look good. I don't give a fuck. And this looks good.
right.
Also, no Sky Stage does not count, and yes, Sky Stage was rad.
Count as what?
As part of like a KOF game for perfect attendance issues.
Oh, okay. What is KOF Sky Stage?
It was a shmup on the 360 arcade.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that now. Like,
some great endings.
you were literally playing as a flying Iori and a flying Terry, right?
Yeah, I always
Kyo.
Yes, Terry.
Oh, Terry was in there too?
I always took it as the spiritual successor to Psycho Soldier. Because Psycho Soldier's kind of a jank shmup.
Right. Oh, that's funny.
Also, I would love for them to bring back Melee.
Which one's Melee again?
The girl taekwondo from taekwondo air quotes, who also has like, you know, Power Ranger style stuff. Like,
Okay.
You need to see her. She's pretty great.
Okay.
But she's also a very difficult character for them to balance right, because they wanted to let her do cool things, and then, you know, if you let someone do too many cool things, some of it's going to be broken.
Yeah. People, but I mean, honestly, I like that in fighting games. I like it when people design characters in a way that people can do more interesting things with them.
Everything's busted in 2001. She's super busted in Vanilla 02. By the way, so that question of the characters that we want in 15 that are in KOF but not 14.
Right.
God, I want Gaitendo back.
Yeah.
Every time I turn on 11 and play him again, I was like, fuck, this guy's so cool. He's so fucking fun.
But how do they... Well, I mean, I guess since they've redone the entire Art of Fighting storyline, it wouldn't matter. They could just bring...
Well, I mean, he's in Bariki 1. Who gives a shit?
Right.
And also, like, no, I mean, Ryo in Bariki 1 is older.
Right.
So, it's fine. Yeah, I want Gaitendo back. He's like my number one lock now.
Right, well, that's what I mean. If Ryo is in this game, then
Who gives
Gaitendo should technically be from the future, but then who
gives a shit?
Who
It's
cares?
KOF. He's already in 11. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see Lin, but I'd prefer old Dualon. Because... Oh, so I want 11 Dualon, not 13 Dualon.
I mean,
Like, that's the one character I'm anal about their moveset.
yeah, I'm just really noticing the engine, the graphics engine they're developing here. I was just noticing, and I know this is gonna sound weird, but the shadows that appear on her collarbone. You see how they, like, depending on the light?
Oh,
like,
once they get too deep, they look kind of jarring. It's
well,
the cell shading
No,
thing?
they introduced the cell shading, and I like that. I think it's a neat effect. I actually think that's really cool. So, honestly, like, for me, I mean, obviously, I want the US team in here, so that probably would be my answer. But if it wasn't them, I'd probably just want Duck King back.
Yeah. So that's the thing, is that not everyone is keeping the, like, predominant 14 movesets. Like, if you look at Shun'ei got a bunch of new shit. Mitenkun just got fixed.
Yeah, SamSho is tomorrow night. We're playing SamSho tomorrow night, so that's happening tomorrow.
For your put your quarters up and play.
Yeah, basically. If the patch was out, we would be messing with it right now a little bit, because then we would be messing with Cham. So
Yeah. And card crushes.
Yep.
Oh, we're never getting Shungoku Satsu Yuri ever again.
Why wouldn't you think so?
Why would you let her keep it?
Was it just too powerful or something, or
it's unnecessary, and it's really leaning way too hard into I'm gonna steal everybody's moves.
Okay.
And it's present in a game that SNK didn't make.
Right. Yeah. But
and SNK is like really fuzzy on bringing back the stuff. Look how long it took us to get Angel back.
Gotta go back to diet here.
Dude, just put that image on the screen for a moment, because I absolutely adore this artist. They're not necessarily known for work safe art. But,
okay.
But they have a lot of fighting game fan art that's safe.
Interesting. Okay.
And yeah, I think it might be about that time to wrap it up and throw in some sexy saxophone.
So the sexy saxophone that I got here was this one here.
Okay, that makes sense.
Is this a decent one here?
I think it's fitting. It's not the one I would normally pick, but I think it's a good choice.
Okay.
That is pretty sexy.
So, I mean, do you want to just go ahead and call the stream then for tonight?
I think this is a good time.
Okay.
We covered most of the news of the week. We got to talk a bit about SamSho, a bit about KOF, a lot about Transformers for some reason.
Hey. ShoryuGame.
We got our content creator of the week kind of thing. So yeah, I think this is a good time to wrap it up.
With two chairs sitting there.
You mean perfect?
Yeah, perfect.
Flawless. So yeah, and then I can always catch up with you after this, because you're gonna be. Actually, it's probably a perfectly good time. So, assuming you're not watching us on Twitch right now, this will probably be coming up on YouTube within the next day or two.
Yeah, I'll probably
And then
tomorrow.
what we can probably do is have you put the ShoryuGame link in the description and stuff like that.
I gotta try to remember that. Yeah. I don't even remember if I think I did put the Danny J link in there. I put his channel link in there. So I'll make sure I put the ShoryuGame link in there.
So we can do that. So yeah, I think that's good. I don't know. I mean, honestly, next week we'll have the SamSho patch, so we might even actually be putting some time into playing games next week. Who knows?
Yeah, so I don't know if we'll get to Metal Slug that week, but we'll figure out a time. So.
Alright, everybody.
Thanks again for watching again. I mean, if you do appreciate the SNK podcast content here and everything like that, once again, if you want to subscribe, donate, gift sub, or even just go to 86th and get some cool shirts over there. They've got lots of cool stuff as well. Just make sure you use my URL, tinyurl.com/86jchensor. And then, yeah. But other than that, thanks for watching. Hope you guys out there, like I said, stay safe and take care of yourselves. What's that?
Orochi's in disguise. Oh, you're on, yeah.
Anyways. Alright, but thanks guys for watching, and please stay safe, wear a mask, social distance out there, Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you guys next week on some more SNKronize. Peace out. Whee!
Yeah.